All right, great time for us to go live. As Keith Collins is currently loading a weapon.
No, it is unloaded because I'm handling it.
Oh, okay.
I'm installing a different safety to see if I like it.
Oh, how are you going to know if the safety works if it isn't loaded, right?
Because the hammer will fall, see? Safety's on. Hammer's not falling.
You don't ruin my fun.
Hammer goes down. That's how it works.
Please, Hammer, don't hurt him. Yes, anyway. So, what's new, fellas?
Not much, and I've just got back from the Expo, and this week has just been catching up on emails and trying to catch up on some sleep.
How did the Expo go?
It went very well. We ended up with highest attendance we've ever had, which is great.
7?
Yeah, no. We did we have over 500 attendees this year, close to 600. So it went very well for us. Lots of positive feedback, lots of great video coming from the show. So overall, great experience for us, our staff, and for all the attendees. So overall, successful show. And now we're moving on and looking forward to the next great show we're going to do, which for me will be ACD Games Day next week, and then after that, Origins. So
yeah, it's Origins is like it's like less than a month away now, which is
it's like 3.5 weeks, or no, actually it is about a month away. I think it's the 14th to 18th, so we're just a little under a month, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's coming way too fast. I would love to have another month to prep for it.
We're trying to get all. You're ready?
Hell yeah, I'm ready.
You don't have to work. You have to. You can always just show up.
Yeah,
well, it's my vacation. I'm actually going on vacation for a week and then going back to work for 3 days and going to Origins. So I can't wait for frickin' June.
I couldn't even imagine going to Origins without having to work.
I know, it's weird. Origins was my first ever. Well, I guess Tokyo Game Market technically was like the first, but my first real convention of actually working for TMG was Origins. And
oh wow, nice.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool.
It was my first event that I ever worked in the industry was for Asmodee 5 years ago. Was at Origins.
What did you do for Asmodee before they were Asmoborg?
I worked for them 2 years as a volunteer, and then the last year I was there, I was moved up to a team lead and actually ran their demo team. So, and I was like a part-time contractor. I helped them with some light duty, like rules editing and stuff like that. But mostly they had me for Gen Con Origins just to run the demo team.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey Keith, did you tweet it out or?
No, I didn't.
Not here to tweet. Well, why not? That's your job. Do your job.
I'm putting stuff together.
Yeah, do your job. Just do your tweet already. Yeah, people are. It was weird. It was like people actually like were like we got kind of our 7 viewers hammered us on Twitter yesterday asking where we were. So
I know they must have been very upset, all of them.
Yes, my apologies to everybody. It was one. My wife is out of town right now, and I had a couple of sick kids, and I was beat down, tired as well. So I wouldn't have been able to last very long at all.
That's what she said.
That worked out great for me because my voice was still recovering yesterday, and it's much better now.
Yeah, that's good. So just on a sad note, I am ridiculously depressed over.
I know where this is
Chris
going.
Cornell. Yeah.
Did you see that it was actually a suicide? It
wasn't. And which of course it's just it's just the sad part of the sadness is then consumed by anger because it's just like you think why I don't know.
I mean, in the pantheon of your childhood frontmen that you grew up listening to, he's got to be what, top 3, top 4?
Well, yeah. I mean, my old boss at my old job, he was a big music buff, and we would talk music all the time, and we would discuss best frontmen ever, and he waffled between 2 and 3 for us because we both agreed that the best frontman of all time is of course now I'm going to totally blank his name because I'm old and I'm crazy. Give me a second because I don't want to say the band name. I want to actually remember his name.
Yeah.
Hold on. Damn it. Why can't I? This is embarrassing.
It's live.
Yeah, it is. It's incredibly live.
No editing this one out. Tell me the band.
Freddie Mercury.
Queen, yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, absolutely, yeah. A best front man ever. And then we would kind of debate between Chris Cornell and the other one. I don't know. I mean, this is personal flavor for me or whatever.
For me too. I mean, when I grew up, the area where I was in, everyone always talked about Pearl Jam and Nirvana, and they always talked about Kurt Cobain or Eddie Vedder. But for me, it was absolutely Soundgarden was my favorite of the grunge bands that came out of Seattle. That's that whole scene, and I always loved their music. Was popular around the same time, but never got nearly the play. I was always a Soundgarden guy. I didn't dislike the other two bands, but it was Soundgarden for me all the way.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so then we would discuss either like Bruce Dickinson for for Iron Maiden would come up as an option if you're an Iron Maiden fan. If you're not, it's tough. Yes. But I am an Iron Maiden fan, and I have been for years. And then the other one that we would always debate as well, and of course I'm gonna cheat because Rob Halford from Judas Priest, who is also an amazing front man as well.
Very charismatic too. I mean, he always dressed the part and acted the part. He wouldn't be in my top 10, I can certainly see why.
Well, I don't think he has the singing chops that Cornell or Freddie Mercury have. He definitely had a better stage presence in a lot of ways, just for, being up there and being crazy. And same thing goes for Bruce Dickinson as well. But it was 1 and 2. Usually it was Mercury and Cornell. I mean, just because. So yeah, you just ask, he was clean, supposedly, I mean, he had overcome his addiction as recently as 6 months ago. He gave an interview where he talked about how he didn't even drink. He had just completely cleaned himself out. And
he was what, 52 or something like that? 52, I think.
Yeah. So it's just I don't know. It's just sad, and
very sad.
I guess it's one of those things where if I don't know, I guess it's somebody who could have been there to help and to talk and what's sad, and this is grim. This is very grim to say this, but you almost kind of weirdly wish it was a David Carradine thing, where it was an accidental thing, where it would be oh, so it was just an accident. He didn't have demons, because then it's it's an incredibly bad accident or something. And that's, like I said, that's an incredibly grim thing to even talk about, but it doesn't matter. He's gone.
It is sad because apparently his wife knew he was having issues, because I think from what I read, she had someone go check on him that evening, and that's when they found him in his bathroom with the marks on his neck. That she knew he was going through some kind of issues, and you just wish that, I mean, I guess you regret it now, but there's always steps you can take, extra steps to make sure stuff like this doesn't ever happen. And I know she's got to be feeling even worse, knowing that there was an issue and still not being able to stop it. It's just tough for everybody, the fans, the family, everyone.
Yeah, he was, like I said, I mentioned a couple times to people, is the soundtrack to my early 20s was Soundgarden. I mean, it was just I listened to that whole era of music, and they were my favorite, grunge band, if you will. Yeah. I never really considered them grunge, though. I don't know.
I didn't either, but I guess because all the bands coming out of that area were all grunge bands, they kind of got looped into it. But I also didn't consider them. I just considered them a rock band.
Yeah, that dipped their toes into heavy metal and
very well, I may add.
Yeah, it's just you know what, it's just fucking sad is what it is. And
you couldn't say it any better.
and the thing is I was never a huge fan of Audioslave. I think he did a really, really good job with it, but that it was Soundgarden was always, I listened to a little bit of Audioslave, but I mean it was mostly just the Soundgarden stuff. And then he did that solo album, which I really liked. I think it was called Songbooks or Song Stories or something.
No, I never did pick that up, but I'm going to now.
Yeah, it's got some covers. I mean, it's basically like acoustic versions of Black Hole Sun. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he does Rusty Cage, but I mean, he plays one of like my favorite songs by him that like you know how like there's my buddy Shad and I always would talk about like the popular the popular song is never the best song on the album. We'd always say that, you know, and so we'd always talk about albums that we would you know read or you know, and we talk about whatever album that we had and you know, and like, oh, what was the best song? So like, you know, it's total non sequitur, but like remember the band Cake, and they had like they had that one they had that one they had that one song. It was like I can't remember. It was like they did the cover of "I Will Survive." Mm-hmm. Remember that? And then like and everyone, and it was a good album too. But like the best song on that album was this one about like something about what was it? Safety belts. I can't remember the name, but there was a song on that album. We debate like the best song on the album, which was the best. And so the thing is that like my favorite song by Chris Cornell was off of his album that he did, kind of solo album called Carry On. And that was a song called Scar in the Sky, or Scar on the Sky. And it was just like there's an acoustic version of that on that album. That's Songbooks one. And he closes the show with an acoustic version of Imagine by John Lennon, which is just flat out. I mean, he kind of owns the song. I mean, obviously it's still John Lennon's song, but he does a wonderful rendition of it. So, and Keith is like, I don't care. I don't like music.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I didn't listen to that much Soundgarden, so it didn't really impact me.
Well, then you suck.
No, it's just, I didn't. I mean, I didn't dislike Soundgarden, but it wasn't one of those things that just grabbed me. Because my wife told me this morning because she's into music, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it was one of those things.
It sucks when anybody loses an idol or somebody they're fond of, right?
The thing for me, it's like I also feel stupid about it. You know, like it's like, oh, you know, it's like, you know, there's people dying every day, every like 7 or 8 seconds or whatever, and atrocities occurring and things like that. And it's like, so, you know, I mean, it's yeah, I mean, it's just it's strange that it hits me as hard as it does, and I also I don't know.
Well, it's the problem is heroes, right? Childhood heroes. You're starting to see all the people that were popular when you were growing up are now at that age, or unfortunately earlier, like in this case. It's starting that their time is starting to come up, and like last year, look how bad last year was. I'm worried that you know these things tend to come in groups. I'm just worried that with this happening now, that over the next month or so we're going to lose a few more. It kind of reminds you of your mortality, because you start seeing all these people that you grew up watching and loving and listening to, and slowly but surely they're all fading away, and that just reminds you that your time is not that far away.
Yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, and the thing is, my grandfather, my mother's dad, you know, great guy, and I remember one time I went and I was hanging out with him, and I was in his he lived in this condo with my grandma, and we were just talking, and he was and he was one of those guys that had like he actually used like the little calendar that they put in your checkbook. You know, like you remember how there would be a calendar, and like you theoretically you'd use it to write down like when certain bills were due and things like that. And he would use it to like fill out his itinerary. And then he looked at it and he pointed to it and he goes, "The older I get, the more I fill this out with funerals." And I was just kind of like, "Oh, that's kind of sad, Dad."
True story, bro.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, "Wow, that's kind of a grim thing to lay on an 8-year-old right now." I'm just letting you know, but you know, we can move forward, I suppose. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. It was good stuff. I mean, he obviously he leaves behind a legacy, and Yeah, I mean that's all you can say about it. You know, it's kind of like when Prince died. I mean, I recognize that was awful, but I mean, and there were tons of people that are just like, "Oh my gosh, Prince is amazing," and I could watch him, and I could recognize, his ability and his artistry. I mean, he did the guitar solo for "While My Guitar Gently Weeps" at the at like the tribute concert for George Harrison, and he stole the entire show. It's amazing. And I mean, but I was never a huge like Prince fan. It was like there was a couple of my friends who like just loved his music, and I was always just kind of like because that's like I was always listening to Metallica and heavy metal, and then they were like playing this pop stuff, and I'd be just like, what's this guy? But I mean, so I mean that one didn't. I could. All these people were like, oh my gosh, this icon, and I guess I can recognize that. But I'm like, whatever. So I guess it just depends on what people like and what people don't like. That it rolls, I suppose. But I don't know. What's Seth? What do you mean? You said great story. Which story are you talking about? I don't know. You said something in the.
Imagine all the people.
Maybe,
You got crap in my head.
Hey Lance, do you mind if I go ahead and do my thing?
Oh
real
yeah,
quick?
yeah. Go ahead and do your thing and tell everybody and keep talking. And I'll also let me put the camera directly on you so you can share that and you can tell everybody about what. So everybody, pay attention and listen to Peter.
I still see you.
Well, you won't be seeing me much longer because I'm about to share screen and then show this, which is Camp Holiday Trails. A good friend of mine, Rob from Rob's painting channel on YouTube, Rob Warren, is helping fundraise for a place called Camp Holiday Trails. And what they do is they try to help kids that are going through chemotherapy, usually from ages 5 to 12. And the current project they're working on now is a recovery room that for these children that once they come out of chemo, they have a place to go to kind of after their treatments are over to kind of relax and kind of rebuild themselves. And what they're doing now is trying to outfit this room with activities and things that they can do that are, like a TV and a Blu-ray player and movies and games. So Rob has asked me to share this information with the masses and try to help them reach their goal. Right now, Rob and his wife are personally buying a TV and a Blu-ray player for this room to help out these children. And they're looking for movies that are appropriate for 5 to 12-year-olds, as well as any old board games that you may not need anymore that want to get rid of, or even any donations to the cause. So helping children with going through chemotherapy is something that is a horrific thing to think about, and anything that can make these kids smile a little bit is a good thing. So if any of you out there feel in the giving mood, here's the information on the screen, and I'm sure anything would be appreciated. So that's my 1-minute pitch, and I appreciate the time.
Lance, can you plug that in the video description after the show?
Probably. Yes.
Cool.
And I'm sure Rob would appreciate it.
Robert Purdon just said, each child goes home with a copy of Rising Sun.
I will see what I can do. I will definitely be donating to this cause. I've got plenty of games that my daughter has outgrown that I can send out there, and I'll be talking with some of the people back at the office. I'm sure we'll be sending a care package to this.
I'm sure. I'll TMG send some stuff too. I mean,
awesome.
we'll have to send like maybe some dungeon roll. That's a game that kids can grasp, and
sure, absolutely,
balloon pop as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So there you go. Hey, Forrest.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What you been up to?
I just got back from a Tears for Fears concert.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, now that's a band I haven't heard of in a long time.
Does everybody want to rule the world?
They were really good. I love Tears for Fears, so I'm biased, but they're really good.
Did they mention Cornell at all?
They actually did. Humorously enough, they did a little tribute, and then they sang a Stone Temple Pilots song.
Nice.
Whoa. So they said we're gonna play a song in tribute, and they played Stone Temple Pilots instead.
Yeah, I'm the wrong dead guy. So I don't know if they meant to do a tribute to Scott Weiland and then just accidentally said Soundgarden because everybody's been talking about Soundgarden today, obviously, or if that just got by them. But it was very humorous.
Ouch.
Now, isn't that weird? Like you have Weiland or whatever you want to call him, who killed himself with drugs, right? Which is also sad. But it's just like, I don't know. And I was a big STP fan. But also, that was kind of like a Lane Staley thing. You just saw the writing on the wall. It was just like the person just couldn't, get over their addiction, and it's incredibly, sad. But I mean, I don't know. It just everything sucks.
Why do people have to die, right?
Well, because eventually, then, we'd be overpopulated and we wouldn't have any food, and there'd be a lot.
Cornell, I was really kicking myself. I was going to go see him in Denver when I went to Denver last year, and I just didn't have the money. And I'm really wishing I would have came up with it because, I mean, I love Soundgarden. I love his solo stuff. I mean, Audio Slave.
Go ahead.
It's just everything he did, everything he touched. He was just so talented.
Go ahead. I'm working on the last initials clue. So somebody tell Seth to get in here if he's watching. Seth, if you're paying attention and you're commenting, I sent you a link. Get in here. And here, okay. So here's the deal. So I'm gonna say this. Actually, I'm gonna air a grievance early here. So okay, Roger Ailes, 77 years old, died, right? And he was Fox News guy. Oh
yeah, I read about that too.
Yeah. So and recently came under fire for sexual harassment problems. Sounds like he was very complicit, if not part of the problem. All in all, seems like there's a lot of things that have come out about him that make him come across as a fairly odious human being. But here's the deal. There's I think it's a Buddhist comment, or I don't know what it is, but it's like it said every life is unique and is therefore precious because it cannot be recreated. And when I first read that, I thought that was amazing. I was just like, is this true? I mean, like you slap the mosquito that's on your hand, that mosquito was incredibly unique. It had its own incredible unique lifestyle, and you've just ended it, right? And I'm not going to go into any kind of weird metaphysics about anything or whatever, or destiny or anything like that, which sub-reference, is anybody watching the most recent, it is in the most recent episodes of Sherlock, but the Sherlock that's been placed on Netflix?
No.
Like season 4. If you haven't watched Sherlock, it's amazing. But they reference this story about like this and this is a great story, and I've heard it before, but so this merchant in like I forget what, some like Middle Eastern town, I can't remember, but it doesn't matter. So this merchant is in like Kabul or whatever, and he's walking in the bazaar, and he looks up and he sees this face of a stranger who is staring right at him, and he's just bewildered. The guy is just like total shocked and a bewildered look on his face, and the merchant immediately recognizes that this person is death. And like he can just see, and the death is coming for him, and so he like quick runs away, like jumps into whatever mode of travel he has, and takes it to Samara. Just races and thinks that if I can get to Samara, then I'll be safe, right? And I'll have avoided death. And so then as soon as he gets off the train or whatever in Samara later that day, he gets off and makes the travel in seconds time. Like should not been able to get to Samara in the amount of time, but he gets there. He gets off the train, he walks, turns on the corner, and he sees death again, and he's staring at him. And so he finally says, "Okay, I understand, it's my time, whatever, but I have to ask, why did you look surprised to see me in Kabul or whatever?" And Death said, "Because I had an appointment to see you today, but it was here in Samara." And so like the whole idea is that he raced to meet his own end, so if he hadn't gotten to Samara. So like it's a cool idea about predestination. But anyway, so my grievance is that Roger Ailes may have been like a horrible human being, and there's been a lot of people that have been horrible human beings, but lots of horrible human beings that like had moments of like being an actual really, really good human being too. And I don't know how you weigh those things on the balances or the scales or whatever. And I'm probably not the best to do it, but whenever I see somebody like, I don't know, like being excited or happy about death, about somebody dying, it always kind of sickens me to a certain degree. And but that's just my little thing. And so I saw a lot of people on social media like being very gleeful over the fact that Roger Ailes had passed away, and I guess it's just I don't know, that bugs me, and and it's just but that's just me, and I guess I need to maybe lighten up a little bit. So there you go.
Well, I'm reading about it, and it sounds like, yeah, he did sexual harassment, and he was an asshole. But I mean, to wish death on somebody, that's pretty serious. Unless somebody murders, murder, kill, rape, or something terrible like that, to wish death on somebody is pretty harsh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things, right? And I can understand if people could say, oh, well, what if it was your daughter that had been sexually harassed by him? Yeah, and I'll fully agree. Maybe my viewpoint would be completely changed. I'd like to believe that I could handle it in a way that would be respectful. But I probably couldn't. So I mean, I'll fully admit that that's maybe hypocritical. But yeah. Anyway, so that's my grievance to air. Does anybody else have a grievance?
Not really. It's been a pretty chill week for me. I'm a little upset they're canceling Mike and Mike, which was one of my favorite morning shows to watch to catch up on sports.
I concur.
Yeah. Other than that, though, I mean,
I'm not familiar with Mike and Mike. What's Mike and Mike?
It's a show on ESPN. It's you saw him from like 6 a.m. to like 10 a.m. And it was basically Mike Golick, who was an ex-football player, and this guy Mike Goldberg, who is just a news guy, and they're kind of like opposites. One's the jock, one's the geek, and they had a sports show that's been on for like 18 or 20 years now, and I've watched it since I was a kid, and I just saw some stuff on the social media yesterday and today that it looks like ESPN is breaking them up and making two different shows out of that show, and it's just sad to see the evolution of a lot of the things that I loved growing up finally just kind of going away.
I'm waiting for it to happen with PTI. I know it's eventually going to happen, and I'm just I'm dreading it. I love PTI.
Yep. They're just ESPN's kind of shifting focus and changing the direction of their company, which I can understand, but it also, some things aren't broke, don't fix them, and that was one show that I agree should have been left alone. But that's it. That's my grievance for the week, and that's very low on the totem pole of grievances, I'm sure.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you, Pete. I'm just reading about Robert Ailes and some of his sexual harassment, and apparently in a lunch, he asked one of the women who sued him. He asked her, "When did you first discover you were sexy?"
Oh, nice. There you go. I guess when you're the head of Fox, you can get away with that, right?
He was in his mid-50s at the time, I think. Oh, that's good.
Like I said, probably a very awful human being. But you know what? He probably has children that loved him, and he was probably I don't know. I just, like I said, you can never know a person truly until you walk in their shoes and see what they did and everything like that. A very wise person once told me, I will never judge a person on their worst day. No, I don't know. If you have a lot of those worst days, though, I can see judging you then. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Just
his Wikipedia page is not very glowing. Apparently, he was not a big fan of Jewish people either.
Ooh, it's Antony.
Antony, what are you doing here?
I guess you can save your initials, Lance.
Antony, are you going to be able to do initials? What?
He said,
said,
ah.
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 Hello.
There you go.
Oh, Anthony.
How are you?
Are you going to do initials then?
No. Just
Oh.
came to say hello.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, because it's the airing of grievances? You want to pop in?
Give us a
No,
grievance, Anthony.
I have nothing to grieve about.
Really?
Yes.
Hmm.
So I have a friend that works at Fox News, though,
Mhm.
and they sent out a memo today and said that in memorial of Ailes' passing, that all the women's skirts will be flown at half-mast.
Oh, my God.
Seth told me 2 jokes today. It says, first one was, what do you get when you cross a joke with a rhetorical question? That's it. That's the whole thing. And the other one was, what did the fish say when it ran into a concrete wall? Damn. Get it? Damn. Damn. Get it? Damn.
Ah.
Okay. There you go.
Light bulb. Blink.
Bing.
Don't quit your day job.
Hey there, David. How are you?
Howdy.
What's new?
Nothing.
You so what are you gonna do about that guitar?
I don't know.
You gonna be able to snag it?
Yeah, I think so. The one of my friends out here saw me posting about it, and we were supposed to meet today, but something got messed up about that. But he's like, well, I need some video work done, so why don't I just pay you that, and you can go ahead and go grab it. So that's probably what's going to happen.
All right. Well, you know my offer, so just let me know.
I know your offer. Thank you.
Yep. So we're in the airing of grievances right now. Forrest, you don't have a grievance to air? Keith, no grievances? Nobody's got any grievances?
No grievance.
I got a grievance with my
I have
wife.
a grievance.
Don't talk bad about your wife. She puts up with
No,
you.
it's a good bad. It's a good bad. She's mad at me because her birthday's tomorrow, and I haven't acknowledged it at all, even though we had a date night. And that's all part of the surprise, but she's getting mad at me because I'm not acknowledging it yet.
Nice.
That's a pretty nice microphone you have there, Forrest. What is that for?
Oh yeah, this is from actually a YouTube subscriber named Milton who hooked me up with it. He was just like, "Hey, I've got an extra one. Would you like it?" And I was like, "Well, thank you very much."
Oh, look at you for all that podcast work you do.
Yeah, I talk on a podcast. I just don't have one.
Anthony, thoughts
I
on
carry
Chris
this around Gen Con and interview people.
There you go. Anthony, thoughts on Chris Cornell?
I don't know why I was like so upset this morning when I heard. Like, I really don't. Like, I'm not like a huge. Like, I mean, I love Soundgarden and Audio Slave and love his like solo stuff. Like, but I wasn't like, a Chris Cornell fan. There was something about him though that just seemed different. Like, he just seemed like really like together. Like, I know he had a lot of problems, OxyContin addiction and all that, but like the things I've seen him on lately, he just seemed to be like just so like that whole, screw it, let's just play music and have a good time. The stuff I like from him the most is like his acoustic stuff in the past few years that he's been going on tour and doing stuff. The Redemption song, his version of Redemption song is like one of my absolute favorites. And if you haven't seen it, I'm sure someone's posted it. If you have seen it in the past, he does a lot of covers in these acoustic shows he was doing, and he learned the music for One from U2.
Yeah, this is awesome. Go ahead.
And he didn't know what the words were though, because he wanted to perform it. So he goes and does a Google search for lyrics to One, and it gave him the lyrics to Metallica's One, and he didn't realize they were the wrong. It wasn't a story. Like, he didn't realize they were the wrong song, so he arranged the lyrics to the thing. And there's video of him doing the music for One from U2 with the lyrics from one from Metallica. It's freaking amazing.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty good, and he does it really well too.
You know what the saddest part about the whole thing is for me this afternoon, as it developed, is I just all day when they first made the announcement that maybe it was suicide, I was like, oh God, please let the guy just have had like an aneurysm or a heart attack or something.
Yep, I had same feeling. I mean, it was just like, yeah, exactly. I don't know. It just sucks. It was one of my iconic like bands that I listened to all the time. I referenced this. I told the story on Facebook, and I'll tell it again in really quick fashion. I had shut up. I had I in my 20s I buried multiple cars. I mean, just like drove them into the ground, delivering pizzas and not taking care of them. And
I'll be right back. I read this story already.
Yeah, so basically, like but I always had a really good stereo. The classic, I got a $600 stereo and a $400 car. I mean, just like so. And as I was driving back from Minneapolis, I was there for some reason. Probably I went to go see a girl or something. And my Ford Tempo died like about a half hour out of town. And so I got it towed back into town, and of course, like the engine had seized. It was it was dead. So I went to the process of like ripping the stereo out of it because that was the only thing I wanted to keep. And it was and the thing is, it was right before winter. I didn't have a car all winter, and my Bad Motorfinger CD was in the DVD player and the CD player, and I hadn't had the presence of mind to take the CD out, so it had no power. And I couldn't get that CD out. And I had always just there and think, God, I really want to listen to my Bad Motorfinger CD. And I just couldn't. And so all winter, I didn't have a car. And then when it started getting warm again, I scraped up enough cash. I went and bought a $500 car, a Chevy Cavalier from some guy. And first thing I did was I installed that thing. And I spent the entire day just driving around town listening to Bad Motorfinger, like probably 25 times. Just like over and over and over again, because I'd missed the album so much. Yeah, it was just it was weird. I don't know. It's such a great album. I mean, Super Unknown was really good too. But I mean, obviously that one like put them on the map. But yeah. And the weird thing is that I just had a discussion with somebody about Soundgarden too, about how good they were and how amazing they were. And we were actually talking. I think it was with Travis Chance actually. We were talking about how. We thought that Kim Thiel, the guitarist, is woefully under recognized for how good he is.
How good is he?
I think he's amazing.
Why?
I don't know, because oh geez, David, are we going to get into this?
No, why do you think he's amazing?
Because I think he plays guitar really well. That's why. Because I'm an uneducated slug who doesn't know anything about music.
He's really not a very good guitar player. But for what he does,
I'm an uneducated. As I said, I'm an uneducated slug who So please, David, relearn me. Relearn me. Tell me why everything I like sucks, and why you will pull me from the brink. And manage to like teach me why I can like things.
Do you think badly designed games suck?
Talisman is a horribly designed game, and I love it.
Really, because you bitch about a lot of games on this show.
I'm just saying.
Please tell me how
I'm just poking a little hole in your theory there. Just respond to what I just said.
I don't think.
How are we talking about games on the show?
I think that you can like people who aren't the most talented at something, but I don't give them credit where it's not due. So if you like Soundgarden's music, that's fine. You don't have to be a brilliant musician to write music people like. But I'm not going to call him a great guitar player when he himself will tell you he really doesn't know how to play.
Did he tell you this? Did you
He stated it many times. Yes, he has
Yeah,
stated it many
lock
times.
him in a room, beat him with telephone books until he finally admitted it to you?
Fortunately, people like me, we don't have to have him tell us. We can actually hear it. But no, I mean, I think what they did was fine. I wasn't a big Soundgarden fan, but out of the Seattle bands, I think they were one of the better ones.
Mm. And Chris Cornell couldn't sing, right?
I think Chris Cornell was really unique. But you know, by the time he got popular and came out, I had already been listening to Richie Kotzen, and they're kind of very similar. So I don't think he had quite the impact on me that he had on everybody else, because I'd already kind of found somebody who'd filled that niche. But Chris Cornell is a bit of a drama queen.
Kim Thiel.
Is it Thiel or Thale?
I don't know, but Rolling Stone said he was the 100th best guitar player of all time. But I mean, what the hell do they know?
They don't.
I know, that's what he just said.
Yeah.
Sarcastically.
Hashtag sarcastic. No, we're not going to go down this road. We're just gonna.
Trust me, it doesn't matter what anybody says anyway. I don't have to. You know, I know what I know, and it doesn't matter what other people think. That doesn't affect what I think. I don't have to. I don't have to have you agree with me. It's quite all right if you guys think somebody's a great guitar player.
Well, thank you for allowing me.
You are welcome.
Out of curiosity, what's your thoughts on Tears for Fears?
I love Tears for Fears.
Do you want to rule the world, though?
Tears for Fears. They were probably actually an underrated band for what they were.
That all the time.
What's his name? Roland Thozabal? Was that his name? The guitar player? I don't remember what his name was. But I can't. Was it Everybody Rules the World? I think it was Everybody Rules the World. That was actually an amazing guitar solo. Did a really good job on that one.
Just keep talking. I'm still trying to get my last my tiebreaker here for initials. So just you guys. So so hey, how's the I can't even think the TV thing for local game stores. How's the TV thing going?
Oh, it's going really well. I've decided not to say a whole lot more about it until we've finalized all of the deals, because I don't need everybody copying what I'm doing. But it's going really well. I drove up to Indy yesterday to finalize some more stuff that will probably triple our audience on the platform, I'm hoping. So it's going really well. It's just getting the content done on time is going to be a real challenge. It's a lot of content in just a couple months. So
all right, cool. Have you played any
game to talk about?
Oh, talk about a game.
I can tell you the new Manhattan Project is very good. If you're considering backing it, it's a really, really good game.
Considering backing it.
I thought that was already out. I didn't realize that was still in Kickstarter.
No, there's Manhattan Project, and then there's Energy Empire, which came out last year, which I liked a lot. But this I like even better. It's got some really cool ideas going for it.
Matthew sent you a copy or what?
I did the Kickstarter video for it.
Sweet.
But I mean, I'd tell you if I didn't like it.
Would you like it?
I do like it. I like it a lot. It's got like Orleans kind of vibe to it, where there's just a lot of stuff going on and a lot of different moving parts, but the gameplay itself is really simple and easy to understand.
That seemed
you never feel constricted.
The original one seemed to be one that people either loved it or hated it. I loved it.
The Manhattan Project was one of the best worker placement games ever.
Huh?
It's one of the best worker placement games ever.
Yeah, I love the original, but I remember when I first started posting about it or whatever, people seemed to be either loving it or hated it. And I couldn't figure out why you wouldn't like it, other than you got kind of a screw you mechanic to it.
Anybody else play anything new?
Anything new? I got some new stuff.
Yeah, I picked up Great Western Trail today. I'm anxious to try that.
I played The Godfather. Oh no, wait, no, I didn't.
Oh,
Which Godfather?
I played that this week.
Oh,
Corleone's
there's
Empire.
Yeah, I'm excited to try that one out.
I got to play that. I got to play Song of Ice and Fire, Lorenzo, De Magnifico. Played a lot of new games.
oh yeah.
So how did that go? How was the event for you guys?
Excellent. It went real well. We got a lot of last-minute registrations and a lot of last-minute walk-ups and ended up having close to 600 people, which is a big improvement from last year. So it was good. We're very happy with the results. Everything went well.
That's
Yeah, I would have gone, but I think my invite got lost in the mail again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have went, but Paul got married, so
Paul got married?
Paul, my co-host, got married.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, congratulations, Paul. Your co-host got married. Was it? I'm assuming you were in the wedding in some fashion.
I was there. We had a lovely time.
Were you an usher, or what did you do?
No, I was just a guest.
Did you do any dancing?
No dancing.
Dancing is forbidden.
I don't dance.
Oh, hey, I don't know what you want to say about it, but Anthony, our secret, well, what thing?
The thing.
The thing that we're
With
the guy and the stuff.
The Brooklyn thing.
The Brooklyn thing, or whatever it is. Do we want to get? We just want the .com, right? We don't want anything else, right?
Yeah, no one goes to a .net.
Okay, well, I just know you can get more than just the .com. Is all I'm saying. So.
No, just the .com.
All right. I'm gonna take care of that. And all right, cool. Yeah, I've never. Interesting. All right. Well, sorry for that bit of.
Now the whole world wants to know what's this you're talking about.
This subterfuge.
Or at least all 7 people that are watching.
It's the
thing.
Well,
I will. I mean, if Anthony wants to talk about it, then Anthony can talk about it. But this is Anthony's idea, but I'm helping him out. You're going to design the website, though. I'm not. I
am. No, when we have it all fleshed out, then we will make a big announcement.
All right, sounds good. Have you
flushed out like it's a shitty idea?
Did you talk to Keith? Did you talk to Keith about it yet, or no?
No, I haven't talked to Keith about it yet. I will talk to Keith about it this week.
All right, very good.
Keith, you're part of the thing with the guy and the.
The stuff.
And the stuff?
And the stuff.
I have no clue what the F you're talking about.
Well, that's yeah. But okay, this is bad. But we can get the other the things for Gen Con. You said you can order them in bulk.
Yes.
All right. Good deal.
All right.
Gen Con thing.
So I do have a somewhat game related topic.
Sure.
What?
The Spiel nominees come out Monday.
Spiel. Well, Yokohama. Well, no, actually, technically, Yokohama wasn't. What? See, it's so weird.
Yokohama wasn't published in German, was it?
Shit. No.
Then it's not eligible.
Yep.
What a pile.
I was trying to think through it and think what games from the past year may be Spiel candidates and what
does it have to? Is it like 2016 or is it 2000 or up until?
Well, that's the thing. It's probably like part of 2016 through 2017 is my guess.
Yes,
but I don't know exactly where it runs.
Because Isle of Skye won last year, right?
Yes.
And that came out in 2015.
Yes.
After the previous Spiel.
Right. So I was thinking about some games that might be nominated. I could see Great Western Trail being nominated because the committee loves
Pfister.
So I could see that being nominated. Shit. I've got myself a little list and I can't remember what I did with it. I think I sent it to Aldi, so I have to look at my chat message to him. For Kinderspiel, Terraforming Mars could be a potential nominee. And maybe Feast for Odin. We'll see. For Kinderspiel. And for SDJ, I threw on there Fabled Fruit. King Domino, Honshu, and Quadropolis, because those all seem popular and about the weight that the committee's been going with.
Those are good guesses.
But anybody have any other ideas? Yeah, I think King Domino is actually a really good for a tight little like filler game. And it's so accessible. I could see the committee really liking that for the Spiel.
Which one?
King Domino.
Oh, I guess
Blue Orange.
Yeah, Blue Orange. It's is it Cathala?
Yeah.
So here's the weird thing about
It's Bruno Cathala.
here's the weird thing about the whole Spiel the Jar thing. The fact that it's got to be, in Germany.
Yep.
I don't know for sure, but like now that Portal actually has a German division, is this the first time their games have been actually released in Germany?
Maybe,
Probably,
I'm not
yeah.
sure.
So does that technically make like Imperial Settlers eligible?
If it makes them eligible, then yeah, I could see something like an older game coming into the fray.
It could potentially. There's always a chance. I don't know. Scythe was printed in German. I don't know if they'll dig Scythe enough for it to go with a Kennerspiel.
It doesn't seem like it's the right kind of game for that award. Too big and grandiose.
I did sit. Aldi played it with the three committee members that were at Gen Con, and I sat there with them the whole time, and they had a good time. But Tom from the committee, he just hiked his leg up and peed on the other two guys and marked his turf, as they put it, because he sat there quietly while everybody else is jaw jacking, and that dude just mopped the floor with everybody. It was impressive to watch, and I think they liked it, but they were quite critical of it. So.
If you say so.
But I don't think the colonists will make it. I think it's too heavy for any
Colonists
other awards.
is way too heavy. It's I have played the first section of that. Like it's
I played through a whole game of it by myself to try it. It's got a lot going.
I don't have enough time to play that game as much. As I don't know. It's
the Eurogame equivalent of Twilight Imperium, right? It's the play it all damn day and all damn
And
night.
if I remember right, Alex had told me that they actually cut a lot out of it to make it shorter.
What game is this?
Colonists?
The colonists.
Colonists.
The epic strategy game, as it says on
yeah, I like how it says that on there. Just like it doesn't even pretend.
No, it doesn't even try to say. It's just like,
But
hey,
it is epic.
it is epic, and it's played over 4 acts or ages or whatever it is. It's an interesting game. I think everyone should at least try 1 act of
30 to 360 minutes.
it. Yeah, and that's per person. I think. I don't think Oracle Delphi will get a nominee.
No,
I don't know. I really liked Oracles.
I do too, but I don't think it'll get it.
it might just because of the Feld name.
It'd be really cool if Adrenaline did, but I don't think it will.
Adrenaline fell off. I mean, Adrenaline kind of fell off the face of the earth, which is weird.
Yeah, it did not hit nearly as big as I thought it would. I don't know if people just didn't try it, because I haven't met many people that have played Adrenaline that did not.
I haven't played it.
I've owned it since it came out and haven't played it yet.
I think it is a great Euro game because it doesn't feel like a Euro game. It feels like you're playing a shooter, but it's not. I mean, it's pure. It's the only area control game I really like. It's an area control game where the areas are running around shooting back at you. It's a really good game, so I'm surprised it hasn't caught off more than it has.
So another one that may get a nod is Inish.
Yeah, that could.
Yeah.
That's definitely one. I can see that.
I
I haven't played it, but I know it's popular.
Chat is saying maybe Fabled Fruit.
Yeah, I mentioned Fabled Fruit in my list as well. I really think Fabled Fruit could get a big nod from them from the standpoint of it's very easy to learn. It's got a lot going on. It's one of our favorite wrap-up games. I mean, you play it at the end of the night because it's quick, and it just keeps growing, right? But you can completely reset it. I think that's a brilliant little game. It's one of my favorites of last year when it comes to smaller games, if you will.
Oh. Is there a child's Spiel too? I know
Yeah, there's the
like
Kinder Spiel. There's the
and
Kinder
Spiel.
Spiel as well.
Mm.
But I
That's super hard to
don't
predict,
know
though.
the games enough to predict it, right?
Yeah, the Kinderspiel are usually games with like Glocken.
Yeah, because normally once those get announced, American publishers, a couple of them hop on those.
Yeah, and the thing is, most of them don't have an English title because they haven't been released in English.
Und Hindergeist.
But I mean, it's Geister, Schatzenmeister, or whatever it was, which was the ghost hunting treasure hunters or whatever it was a couple years ago. Last year, it was My First Stone Age that won, I think, though.
Yeah,
My
And-
son loves that game. It's really good.
Right. So, did Ticket to Ride First Journeys get printed in Germany? Because
I know
if
they have
that
the Europe
did, I could see them going for that.
Is that out yet?
What's that?
Because they have Ticket to Ride Europe First Journeys. I don't know if that's out yet though, or if it was out.
I think it's
in
coming.
time.
But yeah, it's so hard to predict the Kinder because it's usually some little game that we've not heard of in the U.S. And then once it catches on, we'll look into it. I don't think they'll go for Codenames Pictures because Codenames won last year, even though it's a new game. It's the same game. So I don't think
I'm
that'll.
excited to try that Codenames Cooperative they're coming out with this year.
Yeah.
So
I'm interested to see how that works.
So 2 more games: Cottage Garden
Mhm.
Yeah.
and Paul Thompson just mentioned Lorenzo and Magnifico.
Yeah, it could be. I really like Lorenzo.
Mhm.
I can't wait to get my copy tomorrow. Yeah, Cottage Garden could. I like Cottage Garden. I don't love Cottage Garden.
But you're not German.
Correct.
Hey, Pete, I got a weird request for you.
Oh boy.
I actually have a copy of Lorenzo before you guys got hold of it from the like I got an import copy.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got it, the box on my import copy is just beat to holy heckenback. Do you think I can get like a box from Cool Mini that would like be normal?
I will check and see if we have any parts department boxes, and if not, I may be able to help you with that.
Sweet.
Hey,
And then
Pete,
when you send me that box, you can just put those others expansions in there. When
hey, Pete,
Relentless.
are you the guy I
Relentless.
talked to about my potion explosion that has about 50 busted marbles in it?
No, that would be support. But yeah, I mean, yeah, our support would be able to replace those. for
your
you.
marbles are busted?
Oh, yeah, that-
had holes in them. Yeah, they just, they weren't. It didn't turn out. My set didn't turn out very good anyway. I mean, I love the game, so it doesn't really bother me. But I probably want those before I do, like, put them on camera or something. I want to get those replaced.
He doesn't
Yeah.
he doesn't put a set on camera when they're all busted.
Yeah, if you just email support@cmon.com, they'll fix that for you. That's an easy one.
Okay.
Maybe even take a few pictures, attach it to the email,
Yeah.
showing your marbles, and they'll have no problem replacing those.
Take a picture of your
sure I
busted
see where-
marbles and send it along.
What?
Take a picture of your busted marbles and send it along.
I'm gonna send it to Lance.
Ah.
So I got a chance to play a couple new small box games from TMG this week.
Oh, which ones?
Okie Dokie and Guns and Steel.
What'd you think of Okie
Which,
Dokie?
I really dug Okie Dokie. I think that's going to be a sleeper hit with the Hanabi crowd.
I don't like the name of it, but it's fine.
Yeah, the theme and the name's a little bit odd, but we really enjoyed that, especially. Yeah, it was a little bit too easy in 1 and 2 players, so we had to modify the rules a little bit, but we really enjoyed it. And Guns and Steel, I was very pleasantly surprised with, too. That was a really cool concept of, the pyramid of cards and purchasing them, and then if you try and get better cards, it's going to cost you more, but it's like a very minimalist game.
I
it's
didn't know you guys picked that up.
Or something. Yeah.
Did you change anything in it?
Nope. So if you have the other one, did you get a copy of Jiraku, by the way, Forrest?
Is that the trick-taking one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get that to the table. That looks really interesting. I love trick taking.
All right,
That's really
I
good.
wanted to make sure you got a copy. I didn't know if you did or not. So, all right, cool.
Yep.
That's really good.
Is it?
I think I'm the only person though who doesn't like Guns and Steel.
Really? I could
I
see
like
it
that.
being the kind of game that I wouldn't want to play too often, but as a change of pace, and considering that it's just 70 cards, I found it very impressive.
I like the concept of it. That's why I like Jesse's stuff. But I don't know. There's something about that game that just I've played it like 3 times,
It's a Jesse Lee game.
and and every time I play it, there's like something goes like horribly wrong for somebody. And it's not even like their own fault.
Right. I played it and I like you said, I like the concept a lot. I think it's got some really cool ideas going on. But at the end, something was just didn't quite hit for somebody or a couple people. It's like one person just took off with it. But I think everybody should try it.
All right, so I'm sitting here stickering Biotics that just came in from Smirk and Dagger.
Stickering sucks.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what do you guys think of that? Because I'm telling you right now, this is a massive pain in the ass.
I hate stickering.
How many
Personally.
stickers does it have?
It's
Yeah,
a
I mean,
like this, but they're tiny little,
I don't mind
that's
like
the worst.
and they got an odd shape to them, so you got to get the shape just right.
Ever since like I remember I put together and I made my own because somebody like remarked like about how cool it is to play Dominion with chips instead of, and so like I spent like 2 days. I printed off on sticker paper all of the cards, like basically the little circles. I got little circles for both Dominion and Dominion Intrigue, and then I found like some I found something online, like some like wood manufacturer online, and I bought like whatever it is, 800 of these little wooden plugs, and then I went and I had all these things printed off, and I had a puncher to punch them out, and then I punched them out one by one, and then I put them on those things one by one, and that took me like a week. But once I got done, I had a really cool. I even had a poker chip case to keep them in, and all these cool things, and then I played Dominion with it like twice.
Nice.
I am not a fan of stickers. If it's less than like a dozen, I can live with it. But those games that make you sticker 40 or 50 things,
This one right here that I just did, Pete, 150 stickers I had to put on.
What game is that?
Roundhouse.
I will not be buying that.
It has
I don't mind
150
big block games, right? Like Columbia games, things like that. Those things don't bother me because it doesn't take any time. But when you
I got one for you though, David. You have to get like blocks in the east or blocks in the west from Ventanovo.
Okay.
It's like 297 blocks.
Oh wow.
No thanks.
I remember the game that turned me off of stickers the first time. It was Belfort. And that game looked so cool, but I was so over stickering by the time
for me, it was Rampage or Terror in Meeple City because you had to get the stickers on both sides of those meeples, and if you didn't line them up right, it would be off the edge. It was so aggravating.
Yeah, but at least those were optional, right?
But they looked so cool.
They looked so much better. They weren't optional.
I stickered them too, but yeah.
So
anything where the sticker's not smaller than the piece, right?
You really save that much money by making the people's sticker?
Well, how would you put the stickers on yourself? I mean, it's just there's no way to quality control that. That's what it comes down to. If you have the people sticker it themselves, then if they f up putting the sticker on, that's their fault, not you. So and silk screening that stuff on the thing is so expensive.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, but you will still end up sucking up some of the stickering cost because even if someone puts it on wrong and they send support, they're just going to say that the sticker was ripped or came apart when they pulled it off the sheet. Or I mean, you're gonna the cost.
I recognize that, but I mean, you would have so many more if like you had the process of the stickers being on there manually yourselves, either because of the fact that you had to have somebody else manually putting like stickers on 5,000 copies of a game, or the manufacturing process of it would just like be ass. So and the problem and the thing is, most people, and this is horrible to say, but most people when they put the sticker on, if they F it up or they rip the sticker or something like that, most people are going to say, "Oh, I should email," and then they'll forget about it. You know, it's just like rebates. It's like, oh, and we'll give you this card. You can get a $15 rebate if you just go ahead and send this in. And the company knows that 90% of the people that get that little piece of paper are just going to put that in their wallet and forget about it. And then they're like, crap, where's the receipt? And where's it?
Expired.
That's why they love gift cards, right? Because the stores love to sell gift cards because half the people that get them forget to use them.
Yeah.
Or lose them.
Yep.
Or leave $3 or $4 on it because they didn't have enough and then never go back and use it. And that's just
it's not worth it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So Lance, from a costing point of view, which is more expensive, wooden pieces painted with stickers or just punch board?
Well, it depends. I mean, if you're just talking about wooden cubes,
But you don't sticker wooden cubes,
holy
right?
crap, what was that? There's like a ghost or something.
Who is that?
Is that Seth?
Seth.
It's like he dropped
Did he just break his hip again?
I
think so.
He's getting the other one replaced. No, like if it's wooden cubes, they make those in such huge bulk that they're relatively cheap. So, but getting things that are painted, that's more expensive. I mean, it's just
we have enough now for initials and before and after.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think anybody did before and after. Jim is usually our before and after guy now, and he's.
I put the one in the chat. And nobody answered it because I only did the one.
Well, let's do initials while we got all these people on. Maybe even Anthony can play a little bit since he's on.
Yeah, my wife fell asleep in the living room, so I can talk.
Yes, let's do it.
Yes. Yeah, so, okay, I'll have it here. Give me. I've been trying to like get this last one done, and I'm just give me a second. Like talk about yourself.
I need to get some water.
So the other day I was in
a
store and I found Temple of Elemental Evil, and I found the Undercity for like a couple bucks each. I'm pretty sure I know what Temple plays like because it seems like a typical D&D whatever. But have you guys played the Undercity from Privateer Press?
I own it, never played it. I mean, it's one of those things where I've been meaning to play it, never. And I heard it was kind of a mess of a game, so. But you're only out a couple bucks, so.
Right.
And there's some cool minis in there.
Well, that was one of the reasons that I really picked it up. I don't have a whole lot of minis games.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry. You know what? You guys talk. I can't be the impetus. I got to finish this off.
I was just the impetus.
Well, I know. Talk about something else.
Vikings going wild.
Is that any good?
Love that game. Oh
I like
my
it.
goodness! If you like deck building,
it's a fairly
get the deluxe version.
It's a very straightforward deck builder.
What game is this?
Vikings Gone Wild. I did a video for it a while ago.
It's got
and the company that did that also has Zombie Tsunami. It's on Kickstarter right now, which is a lot of fun.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
They have a static biro that changes, and then they have one that doesn't change at all. And then there's attacking, but yeah, if you get it, make sure you get the deluxe edition. They sent me a review copy that was a deluxe edition, which has all these Kickstarter exclusive cards. And I'm used to Kickstarter exclusive cards, but there were like 100+ Kickstarter exclusive cards in like a 100 card game. And they're like, can you not mention those cards in the video? And I was like, yeah, I guess. But it's a really, really enjoyable deck builder. I like it a lot.
Why don't they just not send you a copy that you can't show? Or that you shouldn't show? I'm going to send you retail copy.
Butter up the reviewer.
I'm not going to rock the boat. But yeah, it comes with like a board too. That I guess the base version doesn't come with a board. And I was like, should I play with the board? And they're like, yeah, you can put the board in there. And I was just like, okay. It's still a really good game, but it definitely, I think it needs some expansions and some extra cards to see its full potential. But I like it a lot, and it's got just a lot of cool concepts. I think the sky's the limit. I think it's going to get really big, honestly, with expansion wise, because I think they already have 3 out already.
So Barry's asking you if that's a Tears for Fears shirt.
That is. We just me and my wife just went and saw him tonight.
Hey, if you watch the show Psych, they had the lead singer of Tears for Fears on there a few times. It was awesome. In one episode, in one episode, he gets eaten by zombies.
Nice.
Yes.
He seemed like a very humorous guy.
Like there's one where he basically if you're like they go to some like billionaire's house or millionaire's house or whatever, and he's sitting there playing songs, and the guy who's on Psych, he's like, oh my God, it's you, and he wants to talk to him, and he's like, oh no, you can't stop playing. I went to a concert of his and I liked it so much, I'm paying him whatever it was, I'm paying him $100,000 to come to my house and just and play music over the weekend, but he can't ever stop playing, and he's like, my fingers are tired. He's like, do you want to get paid or not? It was funny. Why am I the only person who talks? I mean, seriously.
Yes, because we're not used to being able to.
Oh.
Nice.
That was nice, singer.
When I logged in, I got up to turn on the light and I heard someone say something about my hip. What was that about?
I asked if you broke your hip again.
Well, there was this huge kaboom, and like it looked like you had fallen over or something.
It was a kaboom. It was an earth.
Where's the kaboom?
Kaboom.
Yeah.
Hey, Lance.
It was my
Barry's
dog.
asking if there's
Dog
space for
turned
him.
around really fast and bonked her head
What'd
on
you-
a. My dog was turning around and bonked her head on a file cabinet. That's what it was.
Was it your
Barry's
knee
asking
you had
if
done,
there's
Seth,
space
or was
for
it?
him, Lance?
Of course there is. Ooh, Barry?
Yeah, Barry's in the chat.
Barry.
Barry.
Barry's a founding member of the Boom. Why wouldn't he be?
Oh, Barry Dublé.
Barry Dublé.
Oh, Barry DeBlay? Yeah, well, no, not him.
Oh, okay.
The Badger.
Yeah, go ahead. Get the Badger in here.
I'll send it to him, I think.
Quick question, guys. If you have a stack of cards with one card in it, can you have a top card in that stack?
Yes.
Is it still a
So the
stack
top and the
if
bottom.
it's one card?
It's not a
Sure.
stack if it's one card.
It is a stack if it's one card.
No, it's not. It's a card.
No, it's that is my card stack right there. One card.
If you have
I
a stack, all right, Anthony.
I
if
will
you have a
choose
stack
to
of two
disagree
cards
with
and
you.
you draw two of them, do you not have a stack of cards anymore?
You may have a deck of cards with one card, but you don't have a stack anymore with just one.
All right, stack definition: a pile of objects with an S. So you would have to have more than one to technically be a.
Okay, that's beside the point. The question is, someone has, if you're supposed to discard the top card and you've only got one card, is that still the top card, or does there have to be a second card to be the bottom card?
No,
that's your top card.
If it's your deck, quote unquote, and not a stack, and it says discard the top card, and there's only one, you still discard it.
Barry, it's good to see you, bud. I haven't talked to you in a long time.
It has been a while. Good evening, gentlemen.
Howdy.
Hey,
We need Barry to write a theme song for the Alaboom.
Oh, yeah, no problems. What do you want? Do you want something like? I've been composing one for you. It's something like oh, that's one wish.
Right in the feels. Right in the feels.
Wait a minute. David, he's horrible, right?
He just played power chords. So yes,
I would agree with you, David. I would agree with you. He's not the greatest guitarist, but he was very experimental, and he had a fantastic voice.
No, I was talking about you, Barry.
Oh, again, I'm not a good guitar player. I play riff, bar chords, but I can
Oh,
sing
wow.
both.
The Predators must have won. No?
Sorry?
Oh, sorry. So I just saw something on my phone here. I thought it said the Predators won or something like that, and they were behind. So.
I think they're talking about a movie. Isn't that a movie?
No, it's about hockey.
Hockey. Predators lost 3-2.
Yeah, they lost in overtime. That's too bad.
Oh, dear me.
Anyway.
Should I play some Tears for Fears now?
Sure.
Sure, if everybody wants to rule the world.
It never stops.
I have to stop the copywriting. Yeah.
Del Forrest is a longtime Tears for Fears fan because that shirt is brand new. I'm just kidding. He just went to a concert.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, how many Tears for Fears shirt do you think I have living around? They were in my top 20 bands to see, so I was very happy to get to see them.
What were you like?
I
Three?
think the band from that era that I really wanted to see that I never saw would have been Simple Minds.
I like Simple Minds a lot.
They had a great energy.
And yes, I was very young. I mean, I'm 31, but I love 80s music. I mean, I'm huge into 80s music.
Good man.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're massively underrated. You talk about 80s bands, you hear The Cure, you hear Huey Lewis, which are all fantastic.
Whoa, hold on.
Uh-oh. Getting good.
Did you just like start off with like using a derogatory statement with The Cure?
No. I love The Cure. I'm just saying.
No. You just said people mention The Cure like they're wrong.
No. Tears for Fears does not get mentioned when you talk about 80s bands.
Well, when you're talking about Tears for Fears
or
The Cure, there's no discussion there.
Yeah, Tears for Fears is better.
I like Tears for Fears better.
Yeah. and
but I like both.
Bad music.
You can like both.
So what's the deal? I thought we were going to play this game show.
Yeah, we are, and I'm ready to go. But hey, Barry, have you talked to Kevin lately? I haven't talked to him. I mean, I don't know.
Spoke to him Wednesday, which is
He was at the Expo this week, so that's probably why he's not been around.
Yeah, he's busy doing his game toppers at the moment. Yeah, he's a very busy boy, and he's got some stonework to do as well, apparently. So,
plus his job.
Yeah, I
plus
see
his
that.
beard.
Yeah. And his beard is a full-time job.
His beard is becoming quite luxurious.
You can't wait to get rid of it.
I got to feel it this week. It was awesome.
Ooh!
All right, so wow, we have a lot of people here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people, and we're going to play a little initials. So if you don't know what initials is, and I'm guessing Barry has no idea what we're doing here.
My money's on Barry.
Yep.
All right, so initials is this. I don't have a tiebreaker because I didn't have time to write one, but I have 15, 1, 5. I have 15. People, places, things, sayings, could be anything. I have 15 of these things, and they all have the same initials, which I'm not going to reveal just yet. I am going to give out clues one by one. There are 5 clues for each thing. When you think you know what the thing, person, place, saying, whatever is, you say your name. Your name is your buzzer. So, Forrest, what's your buzzer?
Buzzer.
Wrong.
Forrest.
David, what's your buzzer?
Ass hat.
There you go. Perfect. So Barry, what would your buzzer be? All right. So if there's any question is, do not yell out your answer until you are recognized by me, your MC, because you don't want to give anything away. If there's do you have Kabuki Kid in the audience? Is she?
I haven't seen Kabuki.
No, I think she missed us last night. Probably didn't realize we were going on the night.
All right. Well, she'll
probably quit because we're a bunch of assholes.
That's it.
That's probably. All right. So Mr. Paul Tompkins is going to be our official adjudicator of the law. So if there's any discrepancy as to who rang in first, and if there's any discrepancy as to whether or not an answer is accepted, Paul Tompkins will make the decision. And then whoever has the most of these correct at the end of 15 will win. I don't know if we have to have a tiebreaker. We'll figure something out. The crux here is that if you win, then next week you have to give initials. So Barry, if you win, you'll have to show up next week.
Okay, that means I'm gonna have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and join in.
Yes.
No
Hardcore.
problem. No problem at the moment.
So, all right. So, gentlemen, I am going to give you the initials here in very, very shortly. After I give you the initials, then I need you to either have a piece of paper that you're going to be doing right on. I don't want no Googling, no looking at the chat, so they can't give you any hints. No, nothing. So I'm going to give you these. Also tweet to to my main man. Who's doing it? Anthony?
Hey, yeah.
Okay, yeah, there you
Wow.
Anthony at the Secret Cabal.
go. At the Secret Cabal, yes.
Paul's calling Anthony for 10.
So tweet your guess, and then I'll send you a care package if you manage to get wrecked. Paul, I still owe you something, and I don't know if Sir Bob got his. Is Sir Bob in? I know I sent him something.
There's
I've
only
not seen him
15
in chat.
questions, people. I can't get 16.
So the reason we're making jokes is Anthony usually wins unless he's the one who's giving the clues.
My
So-
money's on Barry.
except for one crushing defeat that who's got two thumbs and crushed and crushed Anthony.
Who's got two thumbs and squeaked out a victory because an answer was taken away from me?
Well, strangely enough, the one person that I can't see who can be Googling the entire time is Anthony. So,
That's right.
but surprisingly,
See,
he does really
Anthony-
well. I have no idea.
Anthony's like that Chinese magician in that Hugh.
The Prestige.
Yes, he's living it, right? He works it every minute. He never gets out from under the camera. He never breaks character. He's back there with some kind of. He's probably got 3 or 4 machines Googling.
No,
so
I
that he can win
have
us every
3 or
week.
4 Chinese magicians here. The answers.
All right.
Time to do the bullet catch. Anthony.
Tom Cruise. Tom
Bullet
Cruise.
All right. So here are your initials. Your initials tonight for May 18th. And if I hadn't done like 12 of these, I would.
Get on with it.
Shut up. If I hadn't done like a bunch of them beforehand, I would have switched to CC, but I didn't have time to do it out of deference to Chris Cornell. But I am going. My initials tonight are B D. Whoa.
Is it Big Daddy?
As in, yes, that is not an answer. I'll tell you right now. Big Daddy is not one of the answers. So B D.
Right.
I'll give you another 10 seconds to furiously write down any ideas of people, places, things, items, sayings, or what have you, and then I'm going to start.
It's too early in the morning for this crud. Oh,
All right, here we go. Item number 1.
Now wait a minute. You said item.
I'm sorry, like I thing, person, place, whatever. Number 1. Tarzan's Jane.
David. Go Derek.
Bam! Holy cow, David! Wow!
Take it, Anthony. Take it.
Wow!
Did you take that, Anthony?
I had like
He
What?
beat me. I knew it, but he got me.
yeah.
I'm just going to let David win just so he's do it next week.
Okay, I had like Bolero 10, Tommy Boy's evil stepmom, but oh wow, yeah, thanks. Grab that one. There you go. All right, here we go. Number 2. They have 4 classes called M, L, T, and Y. Clue number 2. Relatively speaking, they cool much faster than other objects of their type. Clue number 3. While theorized for years, the first one was not discovered until 1995. Clue number 4. The closest one ever discovered to Earth is 6.5 light years away.
Seth.
Seth.
Blue Dwarf.
What?
Was it like Blue Dwarf?
Keith.
Forrest.
Keith.
Black Dwarf.
Anthony.
All right, Forrest did ring in right after Keith. I have to see if he wants it first.
Beige dwarf.
Anthony, do you still want to try?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Brown dwarf.
Brown dwarf is correct.
Blue.
Unlike
Can I just say, your American accents are really throwing. I thought you said that the initials were ED.
That's why I said big
No,
guy.
it's not erectile dysfunction. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to write down. That's why I'm struggling this morning. Oh.
And then they said, unlike other stars, they are not massive enough to fuse hydrogen or helium to create heat. Some of them actually are below freezing in heat.
Wow.
So, all right. So, Anthony with one, David with one, and David's juggling a giant dog.
That's right.
All right.
No, it's a big dog. It's PD.
Yeah. All right. Number 3. Born to a patent lawyer and a portrait photographer. Clue number 2. Attended Cushing Academy in Massachusetts. Clue number 3. Their inspiration to begin acting was the same actress who
Keith.
killed. Go ahead.
Betty Davis.
Betty Davis is correct. Well done, Keith. And let me finish this clue. Her inspiration to start acting was the same actress who killed herself by jumping off the H off of Hollywoodland.
Wow.
Yeah. In 1942, sold $2 million worth of war bonds in 2 days. And her eyes not only saved her job, but songs were written about them.
She's got Betty Davis eyes.
Nice.
It is you.
All right, moving on.
I'll just listen to Barry. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
We got 3 people with 1. 3 people with 1. All right, so here we go. Clue number 1. Not commonly used by visitors. Keith.
Back door.
Back door is correct.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Wow. That's
That's right. You got to know somebody well.
back door all the time.
That's what she said.
I said programmers keep them secret. Hackers search for them. Slang for a body part. And totally different definition on Urban Dictionary.
Well, that's where I was going for the first clue.
Wow.
All right, here we go.
We made
So we got Keith with 2, David with 1, and Anthony with 1. Their first job was as a mail carrier. Clue number 2. Attended Loyola University and graduated with a poli-sci degree. Clue number 3. Met future co-star Dwayne Hickman while attending that school. Clue number 4, and I'm very proud of this clue.
Anthony.
No, wait. Okay, Anthony, go ahead.
Bob Denver.
Ah, you're right. Bob Denver is correct. Clue number 4, was arrested in 1998 for having Mary Jane delivered to his house after having it sent to him by Mary Ann.
That's funny.
Nice.
And because Don Wells
Yeah.
sent Bob Denver a big giant box of marijuana. Yes, and most people know him as the castaway first mate. He was originally the beatnik Maynard Krebs. All right, so we got knotted up at 2. Keith with 2, Anthony with 2, and David with 1. He jumped out there, and I was surprised, but here we go. Clue number 1. Loves swamps and marshes. Prefers ambushes over straight up fighting. The name of the most famous one is arguably the name of the most famous one is arguably Chrysanth. Chaotic evil. Keith.
David.
Black Dragon.
Black Dragon is
That's what I was
correct.
thinking.
Yes. And the last clue is can breathe acid onto their foes. All right, Keith with 3, David with 1, Anthony with 2. That is a Dungeons and Dragons Black Dragon reference. I'm a nerd. All right. Clue number 1. Typically take 3 to 7 years, but can be longer. Forest.
Bachelor's degree.
Forest, well done. God damn it, I just spent a lot of time looking that up, too. The bachelor
7 years if you suck.
That depends on what you
Could
study.
be 12.
The second half, the bachelor part of it refers to a knight who is too young or too poor to gather vassals under their banner. That's what a bachelor knight was called.
Really?
Yep. This is usually the first of 3 steps, but most people never take the second 2. Instead of this, one can sometimes use life experience on a resume. And this is what most people attend 4 years of college to get. Forrest with 1, David with 1, Keith with 3, Anthony with 2. This is hotly contested. Anthony getting crushed by Keith right now.
Rushed.
Real name was Elias McDaniel.
Barry.
Barry.
Biggest dicketh.
Pete.
Pete.
That's Bo Diddley.
That is Bo Diddley. Well done. David considers him to be the worst guitarist of all time.
That would be Kurt Cobain.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, what was the first
I'm
clue?
pretty sure I'm worse.
What was that clue again?
Elias McDaniel.
You said his real name.
Yes.
Okay.
The name that he was born with. Yes.
No, it's not the name he was born with.
What?
It's not the name he was born with.
What was?
Whoa.
I know he changed his name to McDaniel. It's not the name he was born with.
Oh well, I apologize if I'm sorry. Oh, he was born Elias Otha Bates. I apologize.
There you go.
But yes,
You got it, no
his real
problem.
name was he got it.
Oh, he got it. I know. I'm just.
Yeah.
Oh jeez. Anyway,
If they put your Google up.
Like to file a formal protest.
Was that so Pete with 1 was at first a carpenter and mechanic, was so good at playing violin at a young age, was accepted to play an orchestra at then unheard of age of 10. Began playing guitar on street corners for extra cash after seeing his idol John Lee Hooker perform. And then, of course, was known for his iconic cigar box-shaped guitars, and in later years, telling a multi-sport star that he didn't know diddly. That was a great commercial. The best part of that commercial is when Wayne Gretzky skates up and says, "No." That's all he says. All right, here we go. Clue number 1. Also known as a kick.
David.
David.
Bass drum.
Bass drum. Well done, David. David with 2. Known for being low or indefinite. Its diameter is much greater than its depth. Can be mounted on the floor in a cradle or on a shoulder harness. And this is the one I thought that would give it away for David was, while normally only 1 is used, Tommy Aldridge pioneered the use of 2. So.
I'll have to check that one. But Tommy's a badass.
Yeah, that's my research into my 10 minutes of research into bass drum. So that Tommy Aldridge was a pioneer of the use of it.
Yeah, I'm sure he was one of the first.
All right, here we go. We got David with 2, Keith with 3, Anthony with 2, Forrest with 1, and Pete with 1. Yes. All right, here we go. Their paternal grandfather was the governor of Utah and a former Secretary of War, which I find to be an incredibly interesting fact.
So does Barry.
Famously got to kill John Wayne and the Cowboys. Keith.
Brian Denny.
Anthony.
Bruce Dern. Bruce Dern is correct. Well done.
I was going with Brian Dennehy, and then that was
my other 50-50, Anthony.
Yeah, nominated for 2 Academy Awards, most recently for the movie Nebraska. Starred in one of the greatest movies of ever, Silent Running. And his daughter Laura is an actress, and they both received their Hollywood Walk of Fame star on the same day, which I think is also really cool. So Anthony with 3, Keith with 3, David with 2, Forrest and Pete with 1. Seth and Barry, your microphones don't work.
Yeah, I'm totally bad at this.
My buzzer.
Original name was Walden Robert Casoto. Is a Golden Globe winner. Anthony.
Bobby Darin.
Correct. And I didn't get to give my favorite clue of this one. In his 30s, found out his sister was his mother, and his mother was his grandma.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Died at the age of 37. So Barry.
Unrelated to finding that out.
What?
Unrelated to finding that information out.
Yeah, no, he like was sick his entire life, and he knew he wasn't going to live long. Anyway, so Anthony is now barely squeaking by with a victory over Keith, 4-3, and we got 2-2. So here we go. Next one, and it looks like we have 3 left. So here we go. 120 millimeters wide and 1.2 millimeters thick.
David. Beaver Dam.
No.
Barry.
Big
Dick.
No. No.
Can you repeat the question, please?
The first clue is 120 millimeters wide.
Meters wide.
Millimeters wide and 1.2 millimeters thick.
1.2 millimeters.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Sorry.
First appeared in stores on April 10th, 2003.
Keith. Big Daddy.
And
Pete.
Blu-ray
disc
is correct. Well done. However, the first content to appear on the medium did not appear for 3 more years. Was beaten by its main competitor for roughly a year before burying HD DVD in 2008. And it is a medium for movies, data storage, and video games. Remember when HD DVD was a thing?
Yeah.
Yep. I just threw my HD DVD player away when I moved.
Microsoft screwed the pooch on that one.
Yes, they did.
Well,
should have had that in the Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been a game changer.
Yes, it would have. They chose wrong.
No, I mean it was crazy that like it was because it was I remember
like
when
that
they
Zune.
Yeah, the Zune. I still have a couple of friends that have their Zunes. Like they they still like them. I don't know, just whatever. I will admit, like I mean, it is easier to put music on a Zune than it is to go through the whole, like iPod crap, on iTunes and everything like that. It just, I don't know. It's needlessly obtuse. But anyway, here we go. We got 2 left.
Longer anyway.
We got 2 left, and technically, Pete, you got 2 now, or 3, right?
2.
Pete's got 2.
So if you run it, you will tie Anthony, and I got to come up with a tiebreaker somehow.
Okay.
If
Challenge
Anthony,
accepted.
We got 3 to go, right?
we have 2 to go.
2 to go.
Who am I missing the score on this?
Forrest has 1.
I got that.
Keith 3, Anthony 4, David 2.
Oh no, you're right. We
Pete
have 3
2.
left. We have 3 left. I apologize. We have 3 left. So yeah, still kind of anybody's game except for the people that have 0.
Yes.
Awesome.
But they can be spoilers. All right, here we go. Clue number 1. Became a widower after their husband committed suicide over being found out having a same-sex affair. Clue number 2. Afterwards, they engaged in a number of illicit affairs themselves.
Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna know this.
Number 3. For this, she was thrown out of her hometown. Clue number 4. Penniless, she moved into her sister's home, only to be assaulted by her brother-in-law, Stanley.
Anthony. Blanche Dubois.
Blanche Dubois, the lead character of A Tennessee Williams Play, A Streetcar Named Desire. She always counted on the kindness of strangers. Stella! Can't you hear me yell? You're putting me through hell. Stella! All right, so that gives Anthony with 5. So
if anybody but me gets this, Anthony wins.
Yes, and you can only tie at this point.
Correct.
All right, here we go. You can still I don't know. You can still screw it up for Anthony. So here you go. Clue number 1. Likes the desert. Clue number 2. One of them helped kill Sturm Brightblade. Clue number 3. Enjoys eating camels that they have cooked themselves. Clue number 4. Excellent at aerial combat. Keith.
Blue Dragons.
Blue Dragon is correct, yes.
Oh my god.
A lawful evil lightning slinger.
Is that a D&D thing?
Yep.
All right, so here we go.
Beige Dragon.
The fact that I like Dragonlance is helping.
Brown Dragon.
So here we go. If anybody but Keith gets this.
Keith,
Yes.
you gonna be at Origins?
Yes.
You want to play Dragonlance with me?
I could try. I'm only there for a few days, though. I'm there for 2 nights.
All right,
I haven't played
like
Dragonlance,
more than
but
2
I
nights?
read the shit out of it.
All right, we got 1 left. If anybody gets this but Keith, Anthony wins. If Keith gets it, I've got to scramble and come up with a tiebreaker. All right. Clue number 1. Attended the University of Minnesota.
Anthony. Bob Dylan.
Yes, you are correct. 100.
I was actually gonna literally ring in before you said anything and say Bob Dylan because I'm like, how could you not have Bob Dylan?
Hey!
Yeah.
Charles
But I
Fox
thought, you know
wins.
what? At least hear a clue first.
Yep. Yep.
So what
Bob
were your
Dylan.
other clues?
Born in Hibbing, Minnesota. While at the university, lived at Sigma Alpha U, a Jewish fraternity. It was big news when they went electric and won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 2016.
I can't remember. Everybody always says he's from Duluth. Did he live in Duluth for a while? Or
He lived in Duluth. He basically was born in Hibbing, and then at a young age he hitchhiked to Duluth and kind of
Yeah.
If I would have
He bumped
Googled
around
him,
then.
I would have got that right.
My
It's like
son is
Tom
named after him, so I know a lot about Dylan.
Oh, really? So you named him Robert?
No, I named him Dylan.
Oh.
Then why did you name
Is
him?
is his middle name Bob?
Why didn't you name him Zimmerman then?
Yeah, why not?
I wanted to name my other son Garcia, but my wife wouldn't let me.
After the ice cream?
Yes.
After that dice tower dude.
Good job, Anthony.
Oh, Schmoopy.
I almost got you, Anthony.
Almost.
Lance, I can't believe you didn't put a Life of Brian question in there.
What do you mean, Life of Brian?
Biggest, thickest.
Oh, biggest, thickest, yeah.
Where was Bob Dole? Bruce
I was waiting
Dickinson?
on Bob Dole.
I was waiting on.
I was expecting.
I was waiting on Brad Dorff. I was hanging on it.
I was going to use Brad Dorff actually, but then he's so like nobody knows who he is, but he's a that guy actor. You know, like you see him, you're
Chucky.
like,
He's
well, yeah.
Chucky. He's
But
Grimmer.
I wouldn't know who he was.
He's the Doctor in Aliens 4. He's everywhere.
yeah, he's in a lot of things, but it's just like, but he's a total that guy actor though.
I would have got it.
You had another Tommy Boy reference, so I really wanted Brian Denny.
Yeah, I was waiting for that too.
Charles Fox says he won.
Yes,
He did.
Charles said Anthony with 6 right at the get-go.
If I had gotten the one right before that, I wasn't going to answer the last one. So Charles.
You can't game the game.
I don't game the game. I never game the game. I've lost for a lot of people by guessing the last one when I didn't need to.
Charles, email me your address. I'll take care of you.
I was trying to play spoiler.
Hey, Paul, are you going to be at Origins, by the way? Paul Tompkins? Any chance? Yes, no, maybe?
Hey, anybody gonna be at Origins that wants a crap for my pile of shame?
What crap you got?
I like polish crap.
Dragon Scroll, Warhammer Crest, Simurg, Last Friday, Relic Runners.
Why is that your pile of shame?
It's my to go away pile.
I'll take Relic Runner.
Yeah, what do you want for Last Friday and Relic Runners?
Let's see. I'll give David Relic Runners, and I'll give you Last Friday. I'm giving Pete Eclipse. If I can remember to take any of them. If I can remember to take any of this crap. Sultanaya, Legacy.
Hey, Lance, why were there no questions about board games? Because I got a board game called BD.
I don't know. Why not? I don't know. We just this isn't a board game show.
How ironic was it that you picked the initials BD and Barry Dublaze that showed up?
I know. I was there, huh?
Yeah, originally there were 16 questions, but he cut it down to 15.
The famous Barry Dublaze. I turned my Barry. I turned my daughter onto Faulty Towers.
Oh yeah,
and she thinks it's just hilarious.
Oh, cool.
And she's not even 10 yet, and she's like, "What are you watching?" I said, "I'm watching Faulty Towers," and I said, "Yeah, I used to watch this with my dad all the time." And so then I was trying to think of an episode that she would get, and so I picked the one with when he wins the money on the horse.
Yeah. Dragonfly.
And she thinks Manuel is just hilarious.
Yeah.
I know nothing.
I'm from Barcelona. Yeah, the one that my daughter, she's 10 years old, and the one that we always reference is, "Oh, I know," because my wife is on the phone talking to her mum, and it's like, "Oh, I know. Oh, I know. Oh, yeah."
And then the what was it? That one has the thing where just like he loses his mind. He's like, ha, I won. I've never won anything in my life. You know?
Yeah. Oh, that's excellent.
He's and that was probably one of the best things about Faulty was that he tended to like you could never let him win, because it would just it made it non-fun.
Mm-hmm.
If he actually like had won or whatever, it's like I don't know. It was good stuff.
Yes.
Well, then you need to break up with your boyfriend, Kabuki Kid. Kabuki Kid says that my boyfriend doesn't like faulty towers. Yeah.
Shame on him.
And then something, tried to force it down his throat. I'm hoping he's still talking about faulty towers. Yeah. But anyway, there you go. So, normally we'd have before and after, but nobody did any. I feel bad now.
I did one in the chat. Nobody answered it.
What was it?
I'll give it to see if anybody can get it. He runs through a disgusting pink deli paste.
Well, it's Richard Ham and rye. What Richard Ham and cheese?
Nope. You're close.
It's
Richard Ham salad.
Oh, Richard Ham salad. Okay. I got you.
Hey.
There was a
good one.
There was an episode, and I can't remember what it was, but Whole Movies, which was, I've talked about that cartoon many times. It's a fabulous cartoon that was done before Metalocalypse, which I think has vanished now too. And then is Brendan Small doing anything else? Well, I don't know. Anyway, but there was an episode of that where the his mom is dating this guy, and the guy just loves British humor, and like he brings her to like some like live play of British humor, and he's just laughing his ass off, and she just thinks it's like horrible and isn't funny at all. And I can't remember the episode. That was a good. I gotta go dig that out. Yeah, Home Movies was the post Dr. Katz show. I can't remember what the one after that was. Well, it was Metalocalypse, but dang it. Do you think Metalocalypse are good guitar players there, David?
David walked away.
Oh.
He knew you were going to ask that question.
I can't make fun of him now.
Silence.
Yes. Did anybody? I don't know. The coolest thing about Metalocalypse, if you know what they actually went on tour, like the as the people that played the roles could actually like play the music and stuff like that, and they went on tour as Death Clock, the band or whatever. Yeah, it was kind of neat.
There's a few bands that have done that actually. Well, actors. There's
Ozzy?
No. Ozzy's not an actor. He's a baddie. Oh,
Fozzy, what you dig? Chris Jericho's band.
Well, his little guitar player is one of my clients.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Mike Martin. I thought they were all right for what they were. Solid band.
Well, he's going to go on tour again as Fozzy. He's taking some time off to wrestle, and he's going to go do the rock star thing for a little while.
Yeah, they don't make enough money for him to do that full time. That's why he's sticking around with the wrestling. But they do all right. They're pretty decent band.
News. That's it. I've just remembered there was I don't know if you know the comic strip gang. They're comedians, English comedians. Rick Mail, Aid Edmondson. Basically the young ones.
I love them.
They did a sketch called Bad News, and they were a rock band. It's kind of like Spinal Tap, but they did actually go around England and perform live concerts as well as Bad News. And I never got to see them, unfortunately, but my mum did, and she said they were funny as fudge.
You ever see GWAR?
Who?
GWAR.
GWAR.
GWAR? GWAR?
Yes, GWAR.
I've seen them in concert twice. Worked security once. They are horrible musicians.
Well, not the greatest, but that's all about the show.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with anything except for just showing up wearing their ridiculous outfits and spraying.
Green Jelly's the same way.
What?
You ever seen Green Jelly?
No,
I didn't see them. They didn't last long enough for me to get to see them.
Well, and it was like
the little pigs going.
Yeah.
They were pretty terrible. But I did meet an ex-girlfriend at the concert, so, you know. good and the bad.
Yeah.
What was it? They. Well, I remember. Well, the members of the band started like dying off, didn't they? Like a few of them did. I don't know. Not that it really matters. Like I said, they all wear the costumes anyway. I remember the first time I went to a GWAR concert, I was like, I heard they're going to be in town. I was just like, well, I got to go see it. Just because it was one of those things where it's like I need to go see this. And the cool thing is that Gangrene opened for them, and I had listened to some of that really bad punk as well. So so they came out and they did their thing, and then GWAR did their thing. And like the very first thing that happens, and I'm kind of towards the front, the very first thing that happens as they get ready, what are you laughing about?
I know what you're gonna say.
Well, no. So like and I don't know. This is I'm guessing 95, 96. The very first thing that happens is this like person dressed up in an old Buffalo Bills football uniform that is obviously supposed to be O.J. Simpson runs onto the stage, and like the band's out there and they're just standing around and they're like, and like the crowd's chanting GWAR or whatever. And this guy comes around, and it's obvious that he's got a fake head on, right? Because he's like a good 2 feet too tall. Like he's got this enormous head with a helmet on it. And he comes running out, and the lead guitarist, who of course has a guitar that looks like an axe, as he runs by, he hits his head, so it cuts it off, so he decapitates O.J. Simpson, and then immediately, like you notice, he's got all these hoses and things like that. He bends over and starts spraying red blood into the crowd, just going back and forth.
That was different. I thought you were going to go with the Slyminster Hyman.
Well, no, they did do the whole impregnation and just the guy comes out with the giant phallus and sprays ejaculate into the crowd for like 5 minutes or so. Yes, it was an experience. I remember my
You're not sitting in the front couple of rows.
No, it was like the clothes I had were permanently stained.
Yeah.
From because it's just water, but it's all food coloring and everything like that. Like even my contacts were like my eyes looked like a different color because the food coloring was on my contacts and everything like that. So I mean, it was like I said, not the best music in the world, but it was an experience, and I got to see it. So
okay, so wait, hold on a minute. So I just looked it up. So GWAR has had 43 people as members of the band.
Yeah. Oh, I believe you.
Yeah. But I mean, they're not a 4-piece band. I mean, they could be, 7 or 8 people.
Well, they're 8. They're 8 now.
Yeah.
But let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different people have been Flatus Maximus.
Yeah.
Not biggest dickers.
Well, and Odorous Arungus was the lead singer. His name was Dave Brocky, but he passed away in 2014.
Yes.
And
okay. So all of the members of the 43 who are dead, let's see. So Dave Brocky, Corey Smoot.
Yep.
He was Flatus Maximus
yep.
For the longest period of time. That's it. Everybody else is still alive.
Well,
and then driving their kids to dance class and soccer practice.
Well, yeah, and then I remember they did a what was it? It was something where and there was the one girl that was in the band. I don't even know if she's even in the band anymore.
Kim Dilla?
I don't remember.
Volvatron?
I don't remember. But
Volvatron,
I remember
looking at it.
But I remember when I worked security for, like, she had a line of like well over 100 people that were waiting to have her sign these like 8x10s of her, and charging $10 a pop. It was
that was probably Slyminster. She was their most famous.
Oh yeah, that's Danielle Stamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
she used to have a period on stage and spray the whole crowd while having her period.
Yeah. Well, and then didn't she get impregnated, and then she has the baby, and it's It's like the whole thing is meant to be as offensive as humanly possible, and not to be taken too seriously.
No. Not
But
at all.
yeah, they definitely carved out their
Huge underground following.
well, I wouldn't even really say it's underground. It's one of those things where it's like if GWAR is in town, you just go to the concert, you pay your $20, and you just laugh at how ridiculous it is.
Well, this is one of those things about GWAR, though. So, with the exception of the lead singer, everybody else in the band does not have to be there any particular night. They have someone else to take everybody's place.
Yeah.
What was it? I remember when they did the show. I remember, and I just remember like their bassist. This guy probably weighed 400 pounds, and with his costume, it was probably 500. And I think he played like one note the entire time. It was just like it was. But I remember when I worked security, like they were the most like normal looking.
Yeah, they look like insurance salesmen and everything.
Yeah, it wasn't like they weren't the rock and roll. They were like just wearing khaki shorts and white t-shirts and wearing reader glasses to like to read their set piece for that night and stuff like that. It was very it's kind of neat to see the.
You never ever know if you ran into them in public that they were in GWAR, ever. Never.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like Here Comes the Mummies, where their identity isn't even revealed, which I think is really interesting. But those guys are really talented. I like them a lot.
There's another band that was Ghost. They did that for a while. Or they still kind of do it.
Yeah.
So, if you ever want a good laugh, go onto YouTube and just type in GWAR cover and just listen to them do cover songs of other people's music. They did Carry On Wayward Son, West End Girls and Pet Shop Boys, She Bop from Cyndi Lauper, an AC/DC tribute, and the best one ever, Billy Ocean's Get Into My Car.
Get out of my
Let's just listen to some Billy Ocean today, when the going gets tough.
What, did they open up for?
Oh, I wish.
No, while you guys were on about music or whatever, I came up with some before and afters if you want.
What was that?
I said I came up with some before and afters if you're interested.
Well, can you fix your microphone so we can understand you first?
Can you hear me?
Wow. Yeah, we can hear you. You're
Can
just
you
a
hear me
little
now?
static.
President Truman and the number 2 hit on the hit parade.
Go ahead. Give me your before and afters. I want to hear them.
Okay. All right. Here we go. You all know the rules. In no particular order. And because I like games and stuff, some of these may or may not be game related.
You're cutting out again horribly. Just so you know.
First one. A card comboing area control game clashes with some British punk.
Well, what's the second part? I couldn't understand it.
Card comboing area control game clashes with some British punk.
Card area control game clashing with some British punk. Was there a clue in the word there? Clashing.
No idea.
What's the first part, Lance?
Look, you said card carrying. What does it say it again?
Card comboing area control game.
See, you didn't say trick taking, so
Smash up.
no, that's not area control. Well, it is area.
Oh,
control.
yeah, it's not area. Yeah.
Well, it kind of is.
Kind of.
Smash up.
Actually, that's what we
No,
do.
pumpkins.
So I thought you were going like TMG style, like Jiraku or something. But no. I think you got a stump there, champ.
What's the first part?
Yeah, give us one part.
Well, it is a TMG game.
Okay.
Does that help?
New or old?
Well, then is it? Well, say it again.
Card comboing area control
Card
TMG
comboing.
game.
Card comboing.
Yeah, your microphone is horrible. Card comboing Area control game.
Where's him? Clashes with some British punk.
Is it a new or old game?
Anthony. Guilds of London calling.
Oh God!
Yes.
Good at everything.
Ah.
I actually
Good
thought
at
that-
everything, damn it. Why can't you suck?
Okay. Next one. Okay. Even the king of Macedonia pays extra to get to San Francisco.
Even the king of Macedonia pays extra to get to Macedonia.
San
No.
Francisco.
Get to San Francisco.
Anthony.
San Francisco. Oh.
Anthony. Alexander
Okay.
the Great Western Trail.
All right. That's right. All right. So that's 2 for Anthony. Next one. This clue's kind of stupid, but I'll try it anyway. Taboo pandemic reboot full of whiskey, sheep, and yaks.
Taboo pandemic reprint.
Reboot.
Reboot.
Filled with what? You said it really fast.
Full of whiskey, sheep, and yaks.
Sheep and yaks. These are great, by the way.
I need
Can't tell if that's
coffee.
sarcastic or not.
I have no idea. None.
Taboo pandemic remake.
Reboot. Taboo. So it's taboo. So it's like it's bad. I don't know.
Defenders of the Realm isn't that bad.
It's a nice bathrobe you have on there, Barry. is that velour?
Are these
Oh,
both games, Seth?
Oh, they may be. In fact,
What was the second half of that?
full of whiskey, sheep, and yaks.
Say the first part again.
Taboo pandemic
Reboot.
reboot.
Full of whiskey, yaks, and sheep.
It's Glenn Moore is the second part, right? Yes. Seth?
Am I supposed to answer that?
Yes.
No.
No? Because I heard the whiskey, because there's whiskey barrels in Glenmore.
There is whiskey in Glenmore, and there is sheep in Glenmore.
Google pandemic.
Isn't that Caledonia game that's on Kickstarter right now? That's all whiskey. No. Shit, I don't know.
Really?
Stumped.
You stumped us with your wiseties.
My clue was going to be that I was looking at Keith's shelf in the background, but he logged out, so you can't use that.
Can we get the first word or the second word?
Sure. Okay, so I'll give you a clue. So, how many pandemic reboots have there been?
No idea.
Isn't there 3? Legacy, Liberia, and
Well,
Cthulhu.
okay. So stretch your definition of reboot a little bit, I guess.
Reign of Cthulhu.
yeah, Reign of Cthulhu and Liberia 2 then?
But it's not pandemic. It's
Well-
something that's like pandemic.
Yeah, Defenders of the Realm.
Yeah. No, but good try. It's actually by Matt Leacock still.
Oh, Forbidden
Thunder.
Island, Forbidden Desert. One of those 2? Forbidden
Correct.
Island,
Yes.
Island Booze, Island. Forbidden Island.
And I might have led you a little astray because I thought that game was called Forbidden Isle.
Oh, so Forbidden Isle of Trains.
Close.
Forbidden
except
Isle of Sky.
or yaks or whiskey in trains. Isle of Sky, yes.
Forbidden Isle of Sky.
That is correct. But I like the plug for Isle of Trains, though. Thank you. And I got one more. So that was tougher than I expected as well. So I got one more, and you guys are gonna probably be annoyed with this one, but maybe you'll get it first before you're annoyed. So the clue is us in a dystopia.
What?
Us in a dystopia.
in dystopia. Pet Shop Boys song. Got Pet Shop Boys on my mind now. Thank you.
Alaboom Town.
Oh, that's pretty good, but no, but that fits. That's pretty good.
Oh,
This would be more helpful if where did Keith go, man? You need to look at his shelf. Here, let me look at David's shelf and see.
Don't look at my shelf.
Oh, I don't see a clue on David's shelf. Your shelf says music. All right, let's see what. Lance's shelf is just all dark.
Well, there's nothing on it anyway.
If you need a Nicolas Cage clue, I got you covered.
Okay.
if you need a Muppet clue, you got it covered.
Unfortunately, I don't think that.
Or a Pink Panther.
All right, this one you're probably not gonna get it then. So, I would start with the back half. Remember, these are all games involved. What dystopian themed games can you think of?
Euphoria.
Euphoria was something I could think of, but
Terra Prime.
Yes. So, and this is one of those land style ones. You'll see what I mean in a second. So, Euphoria is the correct answer for the second half.
F Euphoria?
No. Close, perhaps.
You use fucking guys as Euphoria.
I like that one. Just tell us, Seth. You got us stumped.
It's us. It's me and you. So it's me and Euphoria.
That's sweet.
All right.
Way to go, Seth. You ruined the game.
It's so simple. You guys are so stupid. What's your problem?
I like the clues. They were tricky.
So a couple things.
I thought both clues were based on the game.
Can I bore you guys with some role playing game nonsense?
Sure.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Go on.
Go on. No, okay. So I got this in the mail after I backed it on Kickstarter. It's called Barrow Maze, which it's actually I'm pretty excited to like. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever be able to run this. It's a mega dungeon, but
Ooh.
couple. Ooh, go on. You know, so yeah. So like, unlike lots of mega dungeons, so like those the maps are huge here. So like.
Ooh.
Like, unlike most mega dungeons, which are like multiple levels and what have you, the Barrow Maze is actually one level. So like those maps, like you have to actually like you could use them on the back of the book. You can download a PDF that's of the huge thing, but it's just like one level, and like it's massive. Like there's a big overarching plot to go along with it. I won't get too far into it, but it can kill people so easily because since there isn't like that definitive thing where it's like, oh well, the stuff's tougher at a level down below, then you know it's weird, you know. So it's like it's very deadly. I was reading through it. Now, the couple things I had a problem with this is this originally was made for like Sword and Sorcery or Labyrinth Lord, which is a very, very stripped down version of D&D. Mm-hmm. And so they reprinted it for 5th edition, which, you know, whatever, is fine. All they basically did this. I mean, I'm not knocking it. They basically the original Labyrinth Lord one has been long since out of print. So like you're able to finally get it, and any DM worth their salt should be able to take the monster, take the thing and convert it easily to whatever system you want. But all they basically did was change the stat blocks for the monsters in the back. That's so like they just took all the monsters, because like it actually like has all the information for all the monsters that are in the thing. I'm trying to find it, of course. So like here's like pages of the monsters or whatever. So they just took all the monsters and they just converted the monsters to 5th edition. But everything else in the book references Labyrinth Lord, which if I bought this saying, awesome, I can play my 5th edition game and play Barrow Maze. There's stuff in there. It's like, oh, if you want to do wandering monster checks, reference the Labyrinth Lord rules page, page 140 or something like that. So I don't know. I think they kind of dropped the ball a little bit on this one. It's fantastic, but I know there's gonna be people that are like that. They're gonna be like, I don't own Labyrinth Lord. I have no intention of owning Labyrinth Lord, and I never will. Now, the other thing that I got recently, I backed their Kickstarter. And I had missed their like first 3 Kickstarters or something like that. And this is one guy who he basically had this idea that he was going to write a quick little dungeon or whatever, or campaign or whatever like that. And the reason I'm kind of preferencing this, and then it kind of got away from him, and he got more money than he thought he would in his Kickstarter. So he ended up like basically this is his like these are the books for this like quick little dungeon that he wanted to make. That's called the Dark Obelisk, and it, like as he said, it just kind of the whole thing got away from him, and he just kept writing and writing and writing more and more stuff. And so it's like it's got its own bestiary book, it's got its own NPC book, it's got its own like extended like stuff, and then like this is just the adventure, and it's like 500 pages or so. It's got its own like there's a book, and admittedly the stuff in it. So like there's this book that's just the atlas that has all the maps for the whole thing in here. Now, admittedly, these maps leave a little bit to be desired. I'm just going to show you a random page here. It's like they're kind of like they're not classic, and you can kind of tell he's using like a dungeon tile program to make them. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's you know what I mean? It's just it's obviously just just throwing them in and making the maps that way, which is neither. It doesn't make it unplayable. It comes across as being I don't know, vaguely unprofessional, if you will. Ultimately, it plays okay, but I've just started cracking that, and that's a huge amount of stuff that the guy is writing. So, and the thing is cool. I backed his most recent Kickstarter, which just ended a few days ago. And then I mentioned to him, I was like, and I backed it at a level where I was going to get all the books that I missed out. And then I just kind of asked him, I said, are you sending those out like piecemeal, or do I got to wait until you're done writing the book that you're writing now? And he said, yeah, you got to wait until you're done writing the book now. And so then I offered to pay him the shipping early. I pay him extra shipping to get like the original books, and he was cool enough to do that for me. So I paid him a little bit of extra shipping, and I got the stuff, so I don't have to wait like 6 months for him to get done writing the other books and then get it done. So that's my RPG stuff recently that I've been reading and poring over.
I know that they got 13th Age and a really good bag of holding deal.
I love the 13th Age. I wish I could convince my group to try it. They're very hesitant to play 13th Age.
I've heard nothing but good about it.
Yeah, they're very, very old school mindset. I think it's because the 13th Age lead designer is that Rob Hensu. And he's the guy that was the lead designer for 4th edition D&D, which, a lot of people, not fans. The cool thing about
people who are interested in it, I think there's another day or two left on the bag of holding deal where you can get a crap ton of stuff for like $15 or $25 or whatever. I can't remember. Yeah. But then also there's I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was a Wheel of Time 5th edition conversion that was put out there. So for those people who are into the Wheel of Time book series by Robert Jordan, there's a PDF where you can add that to the universe for free.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, it's not free, but it definitely is.
Mine was free, I guess.
Mine wasn't free. In fact, I still haven't got it.
Really?
What are you talking about? Sorry. Going back to your was it Barrow thingy that you were
Barrow
talking
Maze,
about?
yes.
Barrow Maze. Way back when Farscape was on telly, I fell in love with Farscape, and I was very surprised to find that there was a Farscape role-playing game. So I bought the book, and I was like, "Whoa! I can be like not Jakar, Jakar's Babylon 5. I've forgotten all their bloody names now. That's incredible, that is, isn't it? Babylon. Yes, yeah. Cardago. I could be a Luxon, and or I can be like, oh, my favorite characters. And so I was reading through, and I was going, okay, yeah, this is good. Oh, it's telling the background of the universe and how you play. And then it says character creation. You need to use the Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 version to create your characters. And it's like, oh my god, I've got to buy that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that feels the same. It's like buy this, but then you got to buy that to go with
that's
it.
totally unprofessional.
Mm.
If I remember right, that came out in a really nice hardback, right?
Yeah.
So you're paying for all that already, and now you got to go buy this other stuff just to do character creation.
Yeah.
So that's back in the days of the old D20 system, right, Lance? Remember the old D20 system, D20 Modern and D20 Future.
Cthulhu and D20 Spy and
D20. There was a D20 Mafia game that was horrible.
But that's what open game license allowed everybody who had 5 ideas and access to a publisher just to throw it together. Yeah, I don't know. The other thing that I found, and I can't, I have to go and look, and this is once again, I'm not. See, the Barrow Maze was written by the guy, Greg Gillespie, but it looks like these people just kind of were like, oh hey, can we like just kind of pile on and
Aldi in the chat room, but he's not joining us.
Maybe I want Aldi to join us. I sent him an email, but I mean, perhaps he's taking care of his wife who was recently in the hospital. You uncaring bastard. But there's art in here that, like, okay, so there's art in this thing that I don't know for sure. I'd have to go dig out my old art, but like this picture down here of like this banshee and these people like plugging their ears and trying to survive or whatever. I'm almost 100% positive that this picture.
Let me see it.
Is in the old module B4, the Lost City.
Ooh, that could be.
And I don't know for sure. I'd have to look it up. I might be wrong, but I just once again like I just, and I know that art sometimes gets because there is not one artist for all this stuff. And like I know I've seen that art in something else before too.
Yeah. That looks like the Fantasy Flight, not Fantasy Flight, the Fighting Fantasy books.
Yeah, I mean, I just know I've seen that somewhere. So
then no reference to the artists in the back there or anything.
Maybe I'll look. Hold on.
It's usually like an index. It says artist.
You're an index.
Number. Very possible they just own the art, so they repurpose it.
Well, yeah, and that might be what they're able to do. I don't know. I mean, they do for a lot of the creatures and stuff. They do reference like, oh, this monster was taken out of the Tome of Horrors, and this monster was taken out of this. So they are giving credit for some of those things. Yeah, I don't know. I'm Barrow Maze artists. Here we go. Boy, there's a lot of them. Yeah, because that's Jim Holloway. That's like the art. I know this is an Errol Otis cover.
Okay, hold on. So Jim Holloway did that art.
Well, I'm almost positive it's a Jim Holloway art because of the way.
Before.
Yeah, Kabuki Kid's even saying before was all Holloway art.
Yeah.
Thinking.
That image is in. No, that's Barrow Maze 2.
Like I said, I'm not trying to raise a stink here. It's one of those things where I was looking through it and I'm like,
Oh,
wait.
okay. So there's an image of I'm looking. They're lifting off like the cover of a sarcophagus, and the thing is jumping out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's Jim Holloway. I mean, it's just if you read old modules in as a kid in the 80s, I mean that's just the way that he drew his people. I mean, like I said, I could very well be wrong, but I mean, and I've read only 1,000 different books and what have you in my day. So
I'll tell a cool story about Dungeons and Dragons art. So, growing up when I played, and I used to buy Dragon Magazine and Dungeon Magazine and all that, and I always remember like a couple of covers that I just really liked. One of them had a Halloween issue, and it was like a scarecrow with a pumpkin head, like leaning up on the thing. And I always remember that cover. So I'm at a HeroScape event like 9 years ago. Hanging out with some people, and I'm talking to guys. And one of the guys there is originally from Kentucky. He lives in Long Island now. And we're talking about, Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. And I talked about it, and I said, yeah. I used to love, this one cover. Like, I always remember it from a kid. And turns out I'm talking to the guy who actually drew it. So, David Miller. So we've become good friends since then. And his birthday's actually the next couple of days, and he just had open heart surgery a few weeks ago. So he's not watching or listening. But if you ever run into David, probably one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. David does like local conventions. He'll go do stuff, and he's an artist, true artist. But he does not play anything. He does not play anything basic. So he'll go to a convention, and instead of bringing like Battle Cry, his version of Battle Cry is like 3 times the size, with all handmade terrain and all painted miniatures for everything. He runs this thing up at one of the conventions in Massachusetts every year. A game he came up with where it's like the land of time forgot. So you get dropped in, there's dinosaurs. It's insane, these things that he puts together. But my little art story. Hey, Aldi.
Hello.
How's
How are you
Michelle?
guys doing? Michelle's doing better. Thanks for asking.
all right, well that's good to hear.
We had a fun night last night. No, not fun. But yeah. Thanks. Yeah, we went to the ER last night from a she went to the doctor because she was having an asthma attack, and they found some stuff that we needed to go to the ER for. So, but she's home now. We're good for now. Hopefully not too serious. But anyway,
That's good to hear.
So Scott, what else is new? How's life?
Getting ready for BGGCon. We spent all day over the weekend packing up games for all the new stuff that's come in. So we got a pretty significant amount of games since BGGCon. I would probably say like 500 new games.
Wow.
Maybe not that many. Maybe like 300. Like new titles have come out since Essen. And of course, 50 of those will be Kickstarters. I don't know. I always wonder if I need to do a little analysis on the Kickstarter games that I put in the library just to see how they get played, because I think they don't get noticed enough. You know what I mean? Like,
already own them or play them, and they're trying to get the new stuff that they.
Yeah, I don't know. I always wonder.
Or maybe they just get 6 copies
Of the game?
Yeah.
I mean, usually I get like 1 or 2 copies. I've actually scaled it back to 1. 2 is too many because of the Kickstarter stuff. I think a lot of people
1.5
just
is
don't
perfect.
know. Because you go to a convention and you kind of like, I don't know, how many new games do you learn at the convention? from scratch. I guess if nobody knows the game, i.e., like you're just cold learning the game. Like, do you guys do that ever, where you just sit there with the rule book and just let's learn this game?
I think it depends on the con. I think like a Gen Con type of thing, I think you're a lot more likely to do it because it's all about the new hotness.
Right. I think I would do. It depends on the game for me. Like, I would have to really, really want to play it because you're basically going to burn an hour, like learning a game in that kind of loud environment where you're just okay. Well, and you're and I bet you 90% of the time you're not going to get it correct. So I'm. But if someone already knows the game, which a lot of times the games are already known before we get, before you get to the con, someone's going to know the games, the big ones anyway. And it just kind of like spreads, right? Like I'll teach a group and then that group will teach the next group and then it kind of just chains down the line.
Snowballs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I go to cons and festivals, it's like, there are like about 10, 20 games that I want to play, but I can never get to the table. So I'm always playing games that I don't know. And I think that's some of the fun of it is, there could be this hidden gem which you've never even heard of, some small little card game, some small little kids game that you wouldn't want to touch, but, because you got your kid with you and because the big games over there are people around them, so you've got no chance of getting in, and you just go, fudge it, I'm going to play this. And you play it, and it's like, ooh, that's good, or ooh, that's not good. So
the thing about the spring convention is we have the Spiel des Jahres committee there teaching all the Spiel des Jahres games, which usually, I think the hardest game they've ever brought was Elysium, right? Like that was the most complex game they've had. Wow. In the three. This is their third year. So the first 2 years was Elysium. What else was that year? Broom Service and anybody remember? Elysium, Broom Service, something else. What was it? It's funny how you don't remember the winners or the losers. But anyway, so those were the most complex. And then last year was Isle of Skye, Time Stories, and Pandemic Legacy. So those were not. I didn't bother playing any of those, although I did play Isle of Skye. But I did play all of the nominees, all the children's games nominees, which are very quick to learn. They're usually 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and they're really fun. Like last year, the three they picked last year were really great. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that and seeing what they're picking. Someone's asking for my picks. Have you guys done the picks already? Your predictions?
Pixar. I mean, the
Pixar GTFO.
Okay, so I haven't thought about it too much actually, but I've heard this King Domino game is awesome.
Yeah.
Like I've heard no one say anything negative about it. Got to be that. I have not played it yet. I want to. Fabled Fruit probably, and maybe one of those exit games. Like I played all the escape room games at the Gathering, and I love them all. So I think they're gonna. Their thing is, there's too many of them to pick one, right? So you can't pick one. I guess it was kind of the same problem with Time Stories. Like, do you pick which expansion do you pick is the best or something? So, Terraforming Mars, I think, has a chance. I think it was distributed in Germany. Not 100% sure though. I don't think Great Western Trail. It's too hard. Too complicated. What else?
Oh, where's Keith when we need him? He had a whole list of them.
Did you have the list of the games potentials?
Yeah, he had like 5 or 10 of them we were talking about.
Real quick here. Someone started a thread. I like Magic Maze. I don't know if that's eligible. Like that thing is just, I love it.
Have you played with all the expansions, all the extra rules?
I've only made it up to the 5th level. Like, so the basic game plus, I think the basic game is like scenario 3. Like those are the bare minimum rules. Like 1 and 2 are just kind of intro. 3 is where you basically, that's the basic game for me. Then 4 adds in like some special abilities for the characters. Mm-hmm. And then 4 and 5 it adds in more tiles to explore, and also like some special rules where you can't only the dwarf can go through a specific section of the maze, and then there's some special abilities where you can talk when the elf explores a tile, you can start talking again, and then also the wizard can see into the future. Like you draw 2 tiles and you play them both, so it adds like a little more something to it, but it doesn't make it harder.
Yeah, that's a kind of make or break game depending on your group, because I've played it many times with different groups, and there are people that are just so annoying when they play the game. They're just banging that big thing down all the time. It's like, shut up.
I have made a rule that if you bang that thing more than 2 times, I'm kicking you out. Like that's just annoying. I don't. Yeah. Do you want to explain what you're talking about? Like just.
But
I'm gonna look up the list of games here.
Okay, yeah. In Magic Maze, you're moving your characters. Your characters are your fantasy characters from a fantasy, so dwarf, elf, etc., and you've been zapped naked into a supermarket, and you've got to go and find your equipment and escape the supermarket. And you're controlling all the characters. All the players are controlling all the characters, but they're not allowed to talk to each other. And each player has a tile in front of them, and it tells them what they can do. They can move all the characters north, or they can move them west and go through a teleporter. So you've got all the actions, and your actions are restricted to 1 action or 2 actions. And you've got to get these heroes to their equipment and explore this supermarket, and then get them out the supermarket. And you're not allowed to talk. And you've got the sound timer running, and it's a great laugh. But as I said, sometimes when you're playing with some annoying people, that can zap the fun out of the game, because they just keep banging this big red pawn, because this is how you get other players' attention. You know, while you someone's stuck in a corner and you want them to go west, and so you bang the thing in front of the player that has the move west tile. So they wake up and they go, oh yeah, I've got to move this guy west, without saying anything. Obviously, they don't say.
This looks fantastic.
This red thing is just really annoying when someone keeps banging it in front of you, and you're like doing 3 other actions at the same time.
Yeah, sometimes you can't see what they want you to do.
Yeah,
like you just can't see it. Like you're putting this thing in front of me, and I look, because I can only move 1 direction, right? My power, or I have a special ability, and I just don't see it. And then they're like, here, just like this little stupid red pawn they're slamming on the table, and that kind of can frustrate people. I've been in games where the people have gotten super mad and frustrated. So don't bang the red tile. I mean, I think gently placing it in front of them, and if they do something and then they didn't do what you wanted to, maybe do it again, but I wouldn't focus on it. Like sometimes there's other things to be done in the game that doesn't revolve around that one player making the move. But sometimes
it's normally that one player that's telling you to move. Yeah. It's actually them that's holding the game up, because they need to move.
Yeah.
It's like,
Have you played it with more than 4 players?
I've played 3 and a 4-player game.
It goes up to 8.
So one player does the teleporting, one player does the escalator, one person. Yeah.
There's a couple duplicate. I've got my list here. All right, Quadropolis, I think, is also a possibility. I think people forgot about that game. And then there was one other I was thinking about. What was it? I don't think number 9 is going to get nominated, because I read a negative review from the chairman of the Spiel of the Jahres. Not that he can control what gets nominated, but he gave a pretty negative opinion that I kind of agree with. I don't know if you guys played the number 9 game yet.
Is that the one from Passport Games? No, it's not.
No, it's Abacus Spiel. Abacus.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a bingo game. Like you draw a card, and it has a number on it from 0 to 9, and you have to take the tile of that number and put it in your tableau. Okay, and you're building a tableau of numbers by placing the tiles, and they're all kind of like they're not really Tetris shapes, but they're all kind of like jaggedy, and they've got short and long pieces, and they don't interlock very well. Okay, and so you're building a tableau, and you're trying to get it as tall as you can, and not very wide, because your score is basically the number times the level that you're on, and level 1 is worth 0. So everything on the ground floor of the table is like 0. So you have to go at least 1 level up to get any points, and 2 levels up will get you a multiplier by the first level on the floor is on the ground is 0. The second level will be a 1 times multiplier. The third level will be a 2 times multiplier. So you have to kind of go high, and there's rules where you can't place it. It can't overhang, and it has to place on top of 2 other tiles below it, and it has to touch a tile. So there's all these kind of restrictions on where you can place the tiles, and it's very difficult. But so usually, like what Tom Felber said, was the smartest person at the table will win. And then you're all kind of just playing the same. You're playing a solo game, really. Sort of like Take It Easy. If you ever played the Take It Easy games, or Take It to the Limit.
Take it to the limit.
Yes.
Yeah,
Those are basically like everybody plays their own tableau. There's no interaction.
Take it to the limit. Take it to the limit. One more time. I don't know if Century Spice Road is eligible yet, because it came out kind of late. But if it is, it's probably a nominee, because it's just so. It's got that 3 rules in the game, and you quick turns, and it gives you a feeling like I'm accomplishing stuff, and at the end there's a winner. That very simple. It's literally the definition of a cube pusher. You're either taking cubes or you're trading cubes in for other cubes, and then you trade them in for points, and that's it. That's the game. I'm making it sound super boring, but it's actually pretty good.
It's funny, if you ever talk to Emerson about it, when he designed the game, the basic prototype was called Soulless Euro Cube Pusher.
Well, at least he's honest.
There's something about it, though. Like, we make fun of that stuff, but there's something engaging about it, and the art is amazing. And they get I don't know, I forget how they're doing it, but there's the game in the box with the cards, and the cards are big tarot, and they have great colors, and the cubes are very vibrant, and you get metal coins, but they also have playmats, and I don't know how they're distributing that playmat, like if it's going to stores or not, but if you have the option to buy the game with the playmat, you should do it, because the playmat is just amazing.
They did it for the pre-orders directly from them.
Right, so you can pre-order it from their website, which I think they pre-ordered 60,000 copies.
Wow. Who's publishing that?
Plan B.
Plan B.
The former Z-Man people.
Yeah, because I know he's working with Plaid Hat for a little bit with the Spectre Ops. I didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, so apparently when Sophie sold Z-Man to Asmodee, she kept Pretzel Games, and she kept that
title.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was part of the deal.
It's really fun, and we got 2 copies at BGG for spring, and I think it's going to be played nonstop, round the clock, because it's just that kind of game.
Yeah, it's really good.
I've liked all of his games. I really like his first game, Tricks and Treats. I think that's really underrated. Little card game.
Never heard that.
I like it a lot. Okay. And Volt's fantastic.
It's hard to know if some of these games are distributed in Germany, so. Captain Sonar is a potential. That's pretty.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
That's
too hard? Too much party?
Too many people, and it's
too many people. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah. But and it needs to be played by a family. Like, that's their target.
3 to
Actually,
5.
that is not really their target. Their target is any gamer, but like
3 to 5 in Germany.
Yeah.
When does Century Spice Road actually release? Is it Origins?
I think it's June. Yeah. I'm not sure when they're shipping it, but you can. I'm pretty sure I read June.
Yeah, it's Origins.
Yeah.
Someone is saying here First Class, but I've not played that. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, First Class is good. I don't think it's going to win.
It's good, but it won't win.
It won't get nominated. Will it even not get nominated?
I don't think so.
No, it won't. It's the Russian Railroads guys. Second.
I mean, I kind of remember it being played quite a bit at BGG Con, but I've not yet able to get it to my.
Seth really liked it. If he was here, he could probably tell you about it.
There's a lot of people picking games. There's a prediction thread on BGG, like, for prizes and stuff. Like, but people are picking games that are not distributed in Germany. So it's like, I don't think you're gonna win.
What do you think of chances?
Wrong again.
It also has to be a big company.
Founder.
It also has to be a company that can basically handle producing 100,000 copies or whatever it is, some crazy number.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I cared more about the Spiel, but I just don't.
Well, you should. You're a publisher. Let's keep it. If you guys distribute it in Germany, you basically writing your that would be the thing that would keep you off the whatever website you. Whatever. Actually, I shouldn't talk about that.
I'm sorry. What was that?
That website where you guys were. We can't talk about it, so I'm not going to say anything. But I'm saying, if Tasty Minstrel Games got distributed in Germany, actually you're partnered with a potential game like the Delphi game, but you don't have the German rights. You want your original titles to go to Germany, right? Like that's what you want, and then be eligible to win, and then you'll care.
And winning is everything in the Essen. You win and your game will sell everywhere.
100,000 copies.
Yeah, look at Hanabi. It's been picked up by so many publishers within the first year. It's incredible, and it's just everywhere, and yet no one plays it. So you sell games, but nobody will play them.
Hanabi was a good choice. I love it, but it is an odd Spiel des Jahres, right? There's no rules for the Spiel des Jahres anymore. You used to kind of know what they would pick. Now I don't think you can.
Right, but as other markets get bigger too, their game of the years also now have more meaning.
Right, but I don't know if we have an award in America that kind of has that
thump
cash. Yeah, you're going to sell 100,000 if you win the Mensa award, or something like that. I don't think we have one. I heard the Golden Geeks will guarantee you to sell at least 500 more copies, so you're fine.
Yeah, I don't think having the Dice Tower logo on a game encourages me to go, oh, I must buy this game. They don't have the same punch. If I see the Eschen Spiel, it's won the Spiel des Jahres, that gives me a bit more of an incentive, especially if it's an older game as well.
Exactly. You can go back to the older games and you're like, I don't know anything about this game. Oh, it's got the popple on it.
Yeah,
it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Well, I also think there's a narrow scope with the Spiel where it's like they focus on just those awards, whereas you look at the Dice Tower Awards, the Board Game Geek Awards, there's so many categories that whereas the Spiel, it's like, oh wow, that must be
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying there?
It's the creme de la creme, right? It's
yeah, but the problem with too many categories is things just spill over into each other, and it's just wishy-washy. It's like this game, Scythe wins best art, best game, best combat game, best wine. Yeah, there's no space for anything else.
That's happened 2 years in a row. We've had 2 games in 2 years in a row on the Golden Geek Awards that basically sweep. And it was Pandemic Legacy last year, and this year was Scythe. And Codenames swept up. Codenames swept one half of the awards that it really applied to, and then Pandemic Legacy swept the other half, and then this year was Scythe. And
I feel like if one of those, if the Dice Tower Award was just for one game, it was just that one game. I think that really would boost sales.
If we created a new American Game Awards like Spiel des Jahres Game of the Year, then we would basically say one category like that. And if you really wanted to, here's the thing: you got to put money into this thing, right? You're gonna. And I have no concept of how to do this stuff, but it is a PR and marketing play, right? But with I don't know what you get out of it, because the Spiel des Jahres is a non-profit. No one makes money. They do make money and they do charge for that logo, but nobody's paid, right? They don't make money. No one is monetarily gaining from that, right?
Yeah, but it's really good for the industry, though. You would think, I don't know.
Yeah, it's fantastic. 100,000 games.
Yeah.
And it's good for one company and one designer, but it also maybe when someone goes to buy their Spiel des Jahres present, they'll buy another game or two. right? I don't know if you've ever been to a German department store. They have the Spiel des Jahres games like on a stack, like you just massive piles of them. So,
to be honest with you, that'd be the first pile I'd go to.
Mm.
If I was looking for a new game, that'd be the first place I'd go.
And the German department stores do have a lot of games. They have tons, way more than we have here.
Yeah,
But
but,
they
again,
do-
it's Germany.
Yeah.
It's what they like. I mean, I've listened to like music from other countries, and like the people who are like the biggest stars in those countries, that music does not appeal to other people usually.
Yeah, I totally get it. And I don't know if you're a very advanced gamer, and Tom did a post. I read it the other day. I translated it with Google Translate, but he was answering like questions like from the emails they receive and kind of being a little snarky in it, like saying this is not an award for us, right? It's not an award for geeks. Although I think it didn't say game geek, but it said game nerd or something like that. Right, it's a mistranslation. I'm sure he meant geek, but yeah, I mean it's a mainstream award.
So I have a question about Spiel des Jahres. We all know it's
Spiel des Jahres.
It's whatever it is.
Come on, I mean, say it right.
So this is a thing that it's cool to win, right?
Yeah.
It's very good for your company. What do you think of people who make games thinking that game is being made because it's a good Spiel des Jahres candidate?
Oh, I guarantee you that's part of the strategy now. Guaranteed.
It drives me
100%.
nuts. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
If you're in this industry, which is a pretty small industry, right? Like, it's not a big industry, not as big as video games, and you have the chance to print a lottery ticket by picking games to print, like, wouldn't you try to target that? I mean, you can have if I was running a company, I would have my Spiel des Jahres games, and I would have my serious games.
Yeah, it's like Sir Bob just said. It's like they do it for the Oscars. I was going to say they do it for the Eurovision Song Contest. They do it for everything. It's just a cheap ticket to paradise.
But it's like they try to figure out what the formula is.
Give me some Eddie money
to make a Spiel des Jahres game. Like, Spiel des Jahres. Oh, the last 4 have all had animals in them. Let's make sure we put animals in it.
If there was not so much money at stake, Anthony, I wouldn't say
But I'm saying that's a family weight game. You just make a good game, and if you get picked, you get picked. It's not. It's like you're trying to, figure out the riddle.
Why would you start a business and not try to make as much money as possible at it?
You could still make as much money as possible, but the fact that you're trying to pigeonhole something with this thing and to even say this is a Spiel des Jahres type game, I guess don't see like you sort of devalue what it is you're doing. I understand companies make games that are going to sell that aren't great games because they have to make money. It's a business. I understand that point. But the point is, you're trying to stick this. You're trying to figure out the formula. I'm probably several years older than the youngest person in the room. But literally, the Oscars in the '80s, it's about the mid '90s. Every single, I used to watch the award shows, and I sit there and go, and they do best documentary, and it was like the killer whale extinction.
March.
Whatever the thing was. And the third one was always the Holocaust. And the Holocaust won every single year. Because how do you vote against a documentary about the Holocaust?
It's a sign of the times.
And it literally was every single year, one year there was 2 Holocaust documentaries, and I was like, oh my God, it's going to be a tie.
So, yeah, and Disney, the Disney animated films were all engineered towards winning Oscars.
Yep.
Like, there's a great documentary, can't remember the name of it, something about not Neverland. I'll figure it out. Hold on. Anyway, there's a Disney documentary out there. I don't remember the name, but it really tracks when they almost like went under. Disney films went under with the Black Cauldron, right? Because it's super dark and super like not fun. And how they switched it around with like Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Lion King, or not Lion King. Lion King and Beauty and the Beast. Right? Those, and they were. It's very interesting how they really wanted to write. They had to hire the people to write the music and targeted the Oscars, and it was like their strategy. And it's an interesting documentary. But so I mean, that's what Disney was doing. What was the name of that movie?
It was about the Holocaust,
Anyway.
I'm sure.
It's not about the Holocaust. Anyway, it's so and another great thing, and not to toot my own convention, but the guys that teach the 4 guys that come out from Germany are excellent game teachers. They all are very like patient, and they've taught these games like dozens of times, and they'll just keep doing it over and over and over. And with a smile. On the 3rd day, you're like, "Hey, can you teach me Elysium?" Like I came in there like on Sunday, like our end of the day Sunday. I'm like, sure, let's play. Like very like ready to go. Even though I'd already played it 50 times over the weekend.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be funny if a Kickstarter won?
Now, if Scythe is in Germany, which I don't know if it is,
I think it is.
it's distributed. It's through distribution in Germany, meaning you can go to a store and buy it.
I think Morning are actually distributing throughout Europe. So yeah,
That
Then
sounds
it's
like
eligible. Most likely eligible.
It's not gonna get nominated.
I don't think it will either. It's kind
because
of it's
for
kind of
the Ass Door in Cannes this year, there was Conan, which was a Kickstarter. And unfortunately, it got beat out by a game which appeared on the market just 2 weeks before the awards, which was Unlock.
Yeah, Unlock.
Yeah,
That's what I was saying. Like that's a sleeper, because I don't know if you guys have played Unlock or Exit or any of those.
I've played Exit.
What do you like it or? Do you
I like
enjoy
it. I like it. I like what it is. I mean, I don't like the fact you can't replay it at all, but
That is annoying. I like Unlock better for that reason. Like, although Unlock does some things that annoys me, but
yeah.
it's still
like I'd like to play it and go, that was cool. Hey, Lance, I'm sending you
Unlocked is exactly that.
I'm sending you this. Go try it out.
How much? I mean, the Exit games are meant to be spent, or like $15 or less, like $10 to $15. So $10 to $15 for a one-shot consumable experience is not terrible.
Oh no, it's not horrible. It's just it would be nice to say, hey, that was fun. Here, I'll give it to my friend to go try.
10 to $15 is pretty good if you're crab crawling and you want some action. Yeah. Oh dear. Talking about that, I'm gonna have to go and wake my daughter up and take her to school. So I'll bid you gentlemen good day.
Hey, good talking to you.
good talking to you, Barry.
Ciao for now.
Thanks for the musical elements.
More next time.
All right.
Joke's on him. There's not going to be a next time. We have fun here.
Just out of curiosity, have you played the Think Fun escape rooms, and how do they compare if you have?
Think Fun, is that the Stargazer's Manor?
Yeah, that was the first one I remember.
Those are very, 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 very easy.
Yeah, that was the problem I had with the one I did.
We finished it, I think, in half an hour, and there was almost no challenge, right? It was more just like, oh yeah, this is how you do it. You got to do it. The Exit games are very hard, I think, for me. Depends how good you are at like seeing the weird trick of the puzzle.
There's a way around that, though.
There are some very, very hard parts of Unlock that, had we not had a person there who had played them, we would have not figured it out.
But what's funny
we would have been
is
completely stuck.
What's funny is we played. Which one you talking about? The lab, the first.
So the hardest one for me, the Exit one, was the Pharaoh one with the under the pyramids. And
Okay, that one I haven't done yet. It's the one I haven't done yet.
That one it took 4 of us 2 hours and 45 minutes to do it.
But the funny thing is the lab one. I did it with two of my sons, and we were having a tough time in a couple spots. Yeah. Then I talked to people who had done it, who had played it already after,
Yeah.
And the one thing where everyone was like, "Oh, we made the stupidest mistake. We did the stupidest thing," is the one thing that I got like right off the bat. It was like,
yeah, and it's kind of one of those things like if you see it, you see it, and if you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
But they're making tons of them. I really liked them. I mean, I'm only really nitpicking here, as far as like the negative parts. But there are hints in the game. Like for exit, it comes with an app, right? Or sorry, unlock comes with an app, and you can do hints, which sometimes will help you. Like we did all the hints. We were stuck. I was in a group of like 5 people, and we were stuck. And we hit every hint on the whole board, and we're stuck. And then I went and talked to somebody who had done it earlier, and he's like, "That's exactly the spot we got stuck on. Here's what you do." And it was just kind of like one little hitch, and we were completely blown. Like we couldn't finish it. So luckily, I mean, the internet is there. People will search for stuff, but that was only one
And
of
you said the
one
exit
of the
ones?
sorry.
The exit ones are the ones that you
No,
cannot replay?
Well, you really can't replay any of them. I mean, the exit ones are consumable in that you would either write on the cards on pieces of the game, or you would cut them up, or tear things, or fold things. So if you're really careful, you can do it without doing that. But it's not as fun because you're like, well, in order to not cut this card up, we can go photocopy it and then cut out pieces, like shapes and stuff, or just trace them on a piece of paper and then like cut it out. I don't know. That's not as fun as it is if you're just like let me just cut this card up and do it.
I'm gonna get one. Which one did you like the best? Out of curiosity.
My favorite is the Pharaoh. I don't know what the actual title is, but it's the Egyptian.
it's hold on, I got it right here. It's the Pharaoh's Tomb.
It is the hardest one of the 3.
Yeah, $15. That doesn't seem bad at all. Especially you get 3-4 people.
I don't see anybody finishing it in less than an hour, unless you're just like.
That's the other thing. The one thing about Exit that it plays up to 6.
I would not.
Do not play it with more than 3 people.
3 to 4.
Because,
really? What's that?
And only 4 if you have, like you have to.
Because the components that you're working with are very small in comparison to like a regular game.
Yeah.
So just the fact that 4 people trying to look at the same thing at the same time is not easy.
The thing you'll be looking at the most is like this big, and so like it's like a book, right? It's like a pamphlet, and so that's the thing you're really focusing on, and it's very small. And so if you're around a table and not everyone can see it or touch it, because sometimes you're kind of just flipping through it to look at stuff, and it takes you away. Like if you can't actually huddle your heads around it, then it's less fun. You lose a little immersion. Now, we played an unlock one, I forget the name of it, with 6 people. And it was actually pretty good because, well, you know what, I'm not going to say anything. But 6 people was fine for that because of something that happens in that specific scenario.
All right.
So, 3 to 4 on the exits. And then
I know which I haven't played the unlock, but someone had mentioned this. This is the one where you're not all in the same place.
I was trying not to spoil it.
Well, I'm not saying which one it is, but there's one of them I know you're not all in the same place.
Correct. Yeah. So the more people, well, do you care if I say anything, or do you want to just be? You know what? You should just be surprised.
Yeah,
I think we've said enough. We've said enough. And they're coming out with like 6 more or something like that. 6 more exits, and I'm sure Unlock will come out with a bunch more. I have not played the Escape Room, the game, which was the one with the keys. I don't know did you play that one, Anthony?
No, but I've heard really good things about that one. And they have 2 of them or 3 of them now.
Spin Master Games. Yeah, I'm looking at them on Amazon right now.
So we did one at Christmas. It was sort of a Christmas present. We played it. And it was me, Michelle, and her brother, and it took us over an hour to do the first scenario. So it had for us it was a challenge because we're not puzzle room people, right? Like if you're a puzzler, like if you do puzzles all the time and you're really into it, then it won't be that hard for you. But for us, it was pretty challenging because we don't do a lot of that. You know, they'd never seen anything like it before. So.
Lance, you're awful quiet.
Well, I'm just listening to you guys talk. It's kind of fun to listen every once in a while.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna get going.
Do you think you
Yeah,
like this kind of thing?
I'm single dadding it. I can't because my wife is in Colorado. So I was also going to say maybe we should wrap her up, but I don't know. Anybody got any parting words of advice or thoughts or anything?
I just wanted to say that if you are not attending BGG-Con, the regular BGG-Con, and you happen to be in Philadelphia that weekend, come by the portal booth. Say hello.
Are you working the portal booth?
I'm in charge of the portal
Unplugged?
booth.
Oh, okay, cool.
So this way that they can be at both BGG and PAX Unplugged. So I think his regular guys are
Two
going.
teams.
Yeah. So his normal crew is going to BGG-Con, and me and my crew are going to PAX Unplugged. And that will continue for the foreseeable future. So,
Have they released any information about PAX Unplugged or what to expect? Like what kind of convention is it?
so
I mean,
I've been talking.
obviously there's vendors, but
All right, so I've been talking to Matt Morgan.
sure.
He runs the tabletop area for the
Right.
regular PAXs. And he's in charge of the library, and they're doing like a hot games area because it's right after Essen,
Sounds
so they're
familiar.
going to have
Yep.
stuff there. But the one thing they have that he was saying is, so when that hot games area, or the new games area, whatever they're calling it, they actually were going to have that staffed with people to teach the games.
Really?
So you get to go and learn. So it's kind of like the one you do at
We
Gen
kind
Con.
of do too, but yeah.
Yeah, but like more like the one you do at Gen Con, where you can go and play, and there's people there to teach you.
We actually didn't teach it. I only taught one game at Gen Con.
No,
We were both basically.
I don't keep taught a few, but the one thing that was weird was a friend of mine said we were talking. He was at Paul's wedding also, and he's like, "Yeah, I wanted to go, but they're sold out." And I'm like, "They're sold out?" He's like, "Yeah, all they had was Sunday tickets left." And I'm like, "Oh, that's weird. I would have heard something if they did, but apparently there was something wrong with the website, so they did not sell out." Because I think the convention hall holds like almost 50,000 people for this kind of thing. So, I mean, if they had sold out,
I guess it's another one of those kind of conventions.
yeah, that would have been ridiculous.
I don't like.
Here's the other thing, though. There was apparently a good number of tickets that were bought by people who just saw PAX and got excited.
Scalping.
Didn't realize it was unplugged.
Oops.
They thought it was another PAX that was coming to Philadelphia. So apparently, a lot of primary video gamers bought tickets and then had to sell them back.
Do they have a refund
Cancel them.
policy?
They do.
Okay.
But
But it wasn't
Right.
like scalping or anything like that.
no. They
It was
just
just people who misunderstood what it was.
yeah, they're like, oh, PAX tickets are on sale. They went, ooh, PAX tickets are on sale. They went and bought them, and then they realized that, oh, wait, this isn't the PAX. So, yeah, I don't know what to expect. I mean, I'm anticipating we're going to have there about a 50-50 split in people who are, more the hardcore side, but you're going to have like 50% of the people who are noobs. And not like they're oh, I want to go to game conventions, see what games are like. There's people who play a few things. And they're like, oh.
Exploding Kittens.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Maybe they play Catan, or they play,
Sure.
things they buy, like, everyone
Flux.
plays. Right.
Munchkin.
So there's a potential for, people showing stuff that they still make, but that they wouldn't like take to a Gen Con or to a BGG because,
Nobody be interested.
right. So like something like Neuroshima Hex, I'm telling Ignacy we should take to PAX Unplugged because we're going to have people who have never heard of it.
How much art role playing games are going to be there?
That I don't
Have they
know.
published a vendor list yet?
No, they haven't because they're actually still filling the vendor hall.
It's interesting. I'm curious when they will actually expose that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to probably be once they have everyone's money.
Yeah, I'm like, well,
but they still have the application open.
Yeah,
if you're looking for vendors.
I have read a lot of people who are super excited about it. So apparently there's some people living in that city that would never people in Northeast that would never make the trip to Dallas for
right, and it's so close to like all different areas. It's close to DC. It's close to Jersey. It's close to New York. You know, it's a 3-hour drive with no traffic for me.
Anthony,
to get down there.
how close is it to Boston?
It's another 3 hours from there, so you figure 6 to 7 hour drive.
Okay.
But if you look at it that way, and because they're doing day tickets, you could day trip it there.
Right, you can just do one day.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if they can hold 50,000 people, they can do day tickets.
Yeah. They're not
Like
doing
some of my local friends have said they want to come to BGCon, but they can only come for one day, and we don't have a day ticket.
Right.
So,
but you have a good. I mean, you have the bulk, but you have a good number of people who are from the Dallas Fort Worth area. And that's all they go to.
less and less each year. People here are pretty, I won't say spoiled, but they're pretty. There's a lot of gaming going on here that BGCon, they don't care. Like, there's so many people that are getting games and buying games, and there's a Dallas Games Marathon each month, which is like a mini convention every month. And then you have the Nerd Night guys, which once a month. So if you want new games and lots of them, it's here. And you don't have to have a group, right? You just show up. So BGCon is less of
Why don't you brag
less
about
of a
it?
draw for them. I'm not bragging about it. I mean, I don't run it.
I mean, he's got no problem selling it out, so it's not that it's.
Yeah, I mean, if I had problems selling it out, then I would be upset. But those guys, it's. I think less and less locals are coming, right? Because they are already content, and we have a fairly expensive ticket compared to what you can get for a Dallas Games Marathon.
But also by local, I don't mean just Dallas Fort Worth. I mean like all of the Texas area.
Oh, for sure, Texas, Austin, Houston, San Antonio.
Yeah, I mean,
Then you get a lot of Oklahoma.
5 hour drive, 6 hour drive. Is,
Yeah, Oklahoma people as well coming in. Louisiana, all the neighboring states, obviously,
right,
that are driving distance. But it's a further drive, I think, than people realize because Texas is so damn huge.
Yeah, but it's still not as long as driving to Gen Con.
Nope.
Or Origins.
Gen Con for me is an 1.5-hour flight. I mean, it's virtually nothing. Under 2 hours, maybe like an hour 45.
And if you drove it, how long would it take you?
Oh, it would take a day. Yeah, full day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we've
Well,
got
some of us aren't
Origins
cool enough.
2 weeks after that, right? That's coming up fast.
Origins. I'm looking forward to Origins.
Like, do you really feel like you want another convention in your life, Lance?
No.
Like me, I do not want another convention. Like,
I
could easily go to more, but I do not want to go to more. Like, there's just too many.
I have said this, and I'll say it again. If I didn't have to work Gen Con, I would not go to Gen Con.
But you get to see me.
I think I'm the same exact way.
But you get to see me, Lance.
No, and seeing you and seeing my friends is like the reason.
That's the reason to go. Yeah.
Yeah. It has nothing to do. I mean, it's. And I know, poor pitiful me. I have to go and.
You have to go to Disneyland for 4 days and work.
Yeah.
You have to go work on the happiest place on earth. It's fun. It honestly really is fun. I like working at Gen Con, but it's hard work. And you do it too. And, but if we didn't have to, I mean, we plan for this crap all year long, and it's like a 4-day thing. Like, okay.
There's a reason. There's a reason why Michael doesn't want to do conventions anymore. He's just if he can come up with a reason why he doesn't have to go, he won't go. He doesn't.
He's never really loved it.
Did I ever
Yeah.
tell you my original BGG Con, or not BGG Con, the Board Game Geek website sales pitch when I was hitting the pavement trying to make money? Ever tell you my original sales pitch?
No.
Nah.
So why go to a convention when in the best case scenario, all you're going to reach is maybe like 100 and 150 people a day, maybe 200, right? Like really interacting with them. Whereas and that's for 4 days, right? And so basically, let's say at a great convention, you get 1,000 interactions, right? 1,000 people, and you're spending what, like $10,000+ to do this. Well, we're offering our BGG ad system for way less, $200 a month, and you get to reach millions of potential customers. That was my sales pitch, but I don't think I'm a very good salesman. But that was the gist of it, right? You're spending $10,000 plus. Maybe you'll break even by really working your ass off and having a good game and selling it and having it in quantity and making sure it's always all there. Or do some content marketing, do some ads, sell just as many games with way less money. That was my sales pitch back. 2005. And now here I am going to every goddamn convention. There's the punchline.
People want to see your stuff, man. They want to.
Well, what was the attendance at Gen Con in 2005?
I don't remember. We went to, so this was our sales pitch at Gamma Trade Show. Gamma Trade Show back, I can tell a story. I met Eric Lang. That's the first time I met Eric Lang, and we did a pitch. Me and my business partner at the time did a pitch to Fantasy Flight Games. It was Eric Lang, and I forget her name, but she was like the head of marketing at the time. And it was like a $200 a month thing. And it was like, here's our pitch, and here's what we're going to do for you, and there you go. And that was our Gamma Trade Show pitch. And then we went to the Gamma Trade Show, and there was like a room. It was not at Bally's. It was at Flamingo. Is that correct? Is that the one that got torn down? No, not Flamingo. It just recently got torn down. I always draw a blank on the name, but it's on the Strip, and it's across from Circuit Circus. It used to be. Anyway, we went into this room, and there's basically like 5 or 6 vendors, like board game vendors, publishers, and we're like, wow, this is it. And we walked around that room, and then went back and played some games. And then the next day, we walked around the room again, and then we noticed people were walking through this really weird dark curtain area into a much larger convention-sized room, like convention center size style, with hundreds of board gamers. I'm like, shit, we just wasted our first day with the 15 people in the front room. Like, it was like we were in the overflow room, and we thought that was it. So, Sahara? No, it wasn't Sahara. It was next to the Sahara. What's the name of that? Not Flamingo. Not Tropicana. Yeah, whatever.
All right, so the Gen Con attendance
It's pretty scuzzy hotel.
2005 was 25,106.
Okay, so it's about 3 times bigger now. A little less than 3 times. But so many more board gamers, right?
Yeah.
And I would hazard a guess that board gamers are probably responsible for half that growth. Maybe more. I don't know about RPGs. Like, I don't have my pulse on the finger of the RPG world, business-wise.
Well, the thing is, the RPG people, though, are going and playing.
Yeah.
They're up in that Pathfinder
Paizo.
room.
You know what? Paizo brought in a lot of people.
Yeah. But they're in that Pathfinder room all weekend.
Yeah. So I finally got the energy to explore Gen Con last year. Not last year, year before. And we stumbled into the Paizo room. And it's basically as big as BGG Con. It's like 2,000 people in one room playing Pathfinder. It just blew my mind, like how massively huge it was.
And I remember going in there 2 years ago. It was up on the second floor.
Yeah.
Around the end. And I remember going in and seeing like the doors.
Yeah.
And the room doesn't look that big from the outside.
No.
You're like,
And
oh, there's
walk
the
in-
bathroom. You walk in, it's like this massive.
It's basically a
sea of people.
20,000 square foot ballroom. Yeah, it's huge. It's at least easily 20, if not 30,000 square feet.
It's like the NFL draft is going on in there.
Yeah, no.
All right. You kept me up
Anyway.
late enough. Pretty soon
There's my pitch.
Richard Ham might log in, and I need to get out of here.
It's far too early. It's far too.
I know, but that's I mentioned that to him, and he was like, "I'm the doom clock for your thing." Yes, it is.
Probably like 3 a.m. in Malta or something right now.
How's married life, Seth? I forgot to ask you. Still amazing.
7:30 a.m.
Oh, it's fine. Michelle's a little under the weather last couple days. She stayed home sick on Monday. I think she got sick over the weekend. And she took some Mucinex today, and I think that Mucinex didn't agree with her because she's felt even worse. So that sucks. But she just went to sleep. So hopefully she'll feel better in the morning.
Yes, I would agree. All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in and having your say. Anthony, it was good to see you. Even though you said you wouldn't be here, you lied. So, but it's good that you made it.
Never looked better.
Yeah.
So
you should use your phone, man.
So,
You put this camera on there.
So Lance/David/Anthony, just for future reference, I had never done these before and afters before. Were those good or bad?
A little too vague, but otherwise, once we were able to clue in on them, they were decent.
I didn't think they were all that bad. It was just hard to understand.
Yeah, you need to, like, you and Anthony both have weird microphone problems every once in a while.
All right, so I'll give you an example of a before and after the kind we usually have. So you ready?
Sure.
I'm go ahead. I'm almost positive I know what you're going to say here, but go ahead.
No, this is a good one.
Okay.
5 Tribes wins the Oscar. Oh wait, no, it doesn't.
5 Tribes wins the Oscar.
Oh no, wait, it doesn't.
Oh no, wait, it doesn't. Oh yeah, I know. I got it.
Say it.
Aldi.
Get Aldi.
Bruno
wait,
Cathala Land?
Oh no, you know what?
Yeah, that's it, Seth. Bruno
What'd you say?
Cathala Land.
Oh, Bruno Cathala Land. I was trying to figure out Days of Wonder. I thought it was going to be like Moonlighter.
That's a little bit of a stretch. I feel like Cathala Land. That's not even Lala's not even actually in there.
Yes, it is.
Bruno Cathala Land. Bruno Cathala Land. No, Bruno Cathala, because it's La La Land, so it's Bruno Cathala La Land.
Yeah. Bruno Cathala
La Land.
No.
All together now.
But it's close enough, though. It was good.
What were yours?
Okay, so here we'll see if Scott can get it.
Oh God, I wanted to go to bed.
I'm going. Goodbye.
You could just go. Lance.
And as a clue, I guess they're all related to games.
You're right. I can end this transmission, and then you guys can keep talking. So,
yeah.
Good night, everybody.
No,
I'll
we'll
figure it out.
Give me one, and then we'll go. Give me one.
All right. Card comboing area control game clashes with some British punk.
London Calling. Guilds of London Calling.
See, he got that one pretty quick. Everyone was stumped on that one. Next one.
No, he said only one.
Yeah, we're done.
So turn it off, Lance.
Good night, everybody.